Hey everyone, welcome to Firefly Devs. It's a new show on the channel that you already know, Angeldust Live. Today we'll be looking at the PBR textures. So earlier this year I did on my own game development channel a few live streams on the PBR remastering or whatever you might call it of Angeldust. And we'll be continuing that today. Looking at where we are at, let me get the mouse cursor over here. Looking where we're at, trying to improve some textures that we already had, maybe doing some new ones as well. I hope to be doing like a live stream of about 3 hours this morning, so I can have lunch regularly. The studio is not set up as it is with Angeldust Live because it's daytime, the sun is shining, I want to enjoy the sun as well. So let's just start, see where we left off last time, and then we'll be doing a few hours of texture work. So I hope everyone is having a good day. I don't think we'll have many viewers this morning because it's sort of a new segment, a new introduction to this. But let's see if we pick up some viewers. Let me know if you want to chat. I've got the restream thing working as well, so you should be able to chat with me. We'll see what works. It's been a while since I streamed from this setup, so it's a different camera, different layout. Well, enough excuses. Let's get started. So we're back in macOS. I usually stream from Windows, but we're in macOS because I use that to develop the game. And there's a few things that I want to show you first before we pick up the texturing work. This is sort of where we left off, so let me start up this version of the game with this vertex shader or fragment shader that's open currently. And I did some tweaks and improvements left and right, so
no time to waste, let's go.
Here we are in the build alone mode. And let's move over to this side. So my laptop is working overtime here. It's a little bit underpowered for this work, so never mind a bit of frame rate hiccups and stuff. So here are bricks. This is sort of a texture that I did yesterday, and it's got a albedo channel mixed in, so we've got two different colors of texture here. But like it's concrete, and the concrete reflects light a little bit differently than the bricks themselves. It's all good. So we're going for this sort of look with a bit more subdued normals, so the way that the light reflects from the bricks is a bit more smoothed. It's not like that hard. We're going to be using Pixplant. It's a tool that I introduced earlier this year that sort of automatically generates normal maps from displacement maps. So we will be drawing displacement maps in a sort of smoothish gradient style. And I think this will look pretty good combined with characters that look more sharp. So you definitely get a bit of a contrast between the sharper characters and the sort of like low contrast, low detail background of the world. It makes the character stand out a bit more. I think that's a pretty good design language. So this looks good. Of course we still have the real-time shadowing going on, so that's over here as you can see. And everything's pretty much looking good. But there's one thing that I want to show you that I tweaked and that I only found out yesterday. If you take a look at the world, and this has always bothered me about the PBR style that we're looking at right now, what sort of bothered me is that everything looks a little bit overexposed. And it's not so much that like the lighting is bad, like the lighting is pretty good, but it's overexposed in a way. The colors, everything is a little bit lightish, a little bit washed out. Last live stream on Angeldust Live I got called washed out because my camera was set up incorrectly, but let's not worry about that. But everything's a bit washed out, and there's sometimes a bit of a plasticky, glossy effect on everything going on. Like even bricks or materials where you would not expect a bit of shininess. So one material that is really like bad in that regard is the marble. Take a look at this. This is green marble, this block over here. And if you take a look at the top face of that block, of that capital, you will see it reflecting a lot of sunlight or a lot of sky color, sky light, whatever you might call it. It's a bit too much, I believe. So what I found out yesterday, and because of the colors being so light-ish, they look a bit more like pastels instead of intense, vivid colors. So what I found yesterday is that you can, of course, in the fragment shader tweak all parts of the physically based rendering equation. And if you lower the diffuse, the ambient light a little bit, things look way better. So let me sign into the online world here with my special alt account.
Let's go.
And we're flying over to the City of Heroes Plaza, so let's head over this way. As you can see, all of the advances in the regular Angeldust have been ported over to this version, so I can now fly on my Drakeling in first person. So we're flying on a Drakeling over this way. and take a look around. There are a lot of materials that still need their textures, so hopefully we can make a small dent in that today. And Alexi says, yo, it is sexy. Hey Alexi, you are sexy. It's a new setup, so I didn't notice your messages popping in, but there we go. Also, we should have on-screen chat. Yeah, it works. So, good. I will pay close attention to the chat then. Thank you, Alexi. So anyway, here we are on the central square, and if I like drop down like this, you can see there's a lot of sky color, a lot of blues, a lot of like atmosphere color being reflected by this marble, and it looks a bit washed out. It's a bit too glossy, as it were. But it's really nice. Like take a look at the sun reflection. This is really good. We still want to keep that specular lighting going on, but we need a little less diffuse, like diffuse reflection, or it's not really reflection, but a little less diffuse term. So let's head into the fragment shader. And on an earlier stream I sort of explained, if you want to find a good value for things, sometimes it's best like to do it as a binary search, double the value or half the value. So the ambient scale, as you can see here, is 1.0, and let's lower that to 0.5. It's a value that I found, like it's of course half of 1, it's literally half. It's a value that works pretty well. So let's run the game with this. Maybe we can do a split screen version as well. But already on this main screen you can see that the colors are, like the dark portions are a bit darker. It adds more contrast to the screen, to the world, and everything is just a bit more realistically colored. So let's head over to the plaza again, and let's take a look what the sky reflection looks like now. So I found this 0.5 factor to be really workable. This looks a lot better. The colors are more vibrant, more vivid, and everything just looks more real and realistic. I think it's because everything is less glossy. You can finally see the materials come to light, like their properties come to light a bit more. So let's fly down here on the plaza. Never mind the slight shadowing artifacts, but this looks much better. Of course the sun is in a different location now and it's setting, so it's getting a bit darker, but it looks less like a lot of gloss. Of course it's still glossy, it is still marble, and the sun will of course still have a very specular reflection, as you can see, like this. But overall the feel of all of the materials is much better. I also like the metals much more, so let's head over to this metal bunny. It's supposedly made out of anodized steel, so take that for what you want. This is patina, of course. It's the greenish metal. This has got a work in progress texture on it, so this is not the final look of the metal. Like nothing is going to be like final look today, but we are going to make some base textures, some base PBR textures, and we will tweak from there. But I sort of like this look. It's a good look. Hello Anonymous. Shelter in, it says. I'm not sure if that's the cat. Let me check it out. Is it the cat? I don't see the cat. Welcome anyway, even though we don't see the cat. Welcome anyway. It might be that my computer doesn't have the font or something. It's probably something dumb. Anyway, so we're inside, and also inside it's, as you can see, it's still pretty well lit. It's a bit darker than it was before, but it's still pretty well lit, and I honestly like this look a lot more than the glossy one. Everything just looks so much more real. Now we need to find a building with the cinder blocks, because I'm pretty happy with the cinder blocks texture. I found a new process that works pretty well, and I think the cinder blocks look really good with some of the tweaks to the directional lighting. This is cobble. This also looks pretty good. These are the new bricks and the cobble. So they go pretty well together. I think we can only judge like the end result if we've got all of the textures working. But you can clearly pick up on all of the directional lighting cues here. There's shadows from all sides, and there's depth to everything. I think this is copper in the corners here. Let's see. Yeah, copper beams, because you can sort of tell. Like, let me do the pixel zoom here. Not sure if this is going to look good on the stream, but we'll try. You can sort of tell by this center circular specular thing. that is colored. That's sort of like indicative of a metal in this style. Let's see if we can find something with cinder blocks. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is, like the bricks, a texture with two colors. The overgrown cinder blocks. And the vines, like the vine thing, is definitely laying on top of the bricks. But they still go together with the non-overgrown cinder blocks. This is the look that I'm shooting for at the moment. Hello Firefly, hello Wendy. Hey Wendy, I've got some good news. So this is not Angeldust Live as you know it, it's Firefly devs because we're going to be drawing some PBR textures here. But Wendy, you were asking about that 3D Android version of the game. So I'm proud and pleased to report that I can show you if you go to the website now, Angeldust. If you click on support, I think that's the easiest link, or there's a thread on the forums now. If you go to support and click on the Google Play Store, you will now see the 3D version of Angeldust. It's on the Google Play Store, and it's the price that we sort of like discussed or whatever on the last stream. So you can now get it on the Play Store with the credit that you have there. So it's there, finally. But we need to rack up the download count a bit. So if you can get it, that would be awesome. But it's there. It's dev, so that's also part of the dev process, right? Making the product available for people to buy. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Drawing textures in this style, maybe redoing some of the old ones, because the old ones were hand-drawn, like this wooden texture is hand-drawn, and the styles clash. There's no doubt about it. I know that some people were really happy with this hand-drawn style, but we're like 10 months later and I didn't have any... Do we want to allow Twitch emojis? Sure, we'll allow Twitch emojis forever. There we go. Thanks for the information, Wendy says. I'll buy it. Thank you. Much appreciated. Also these roofing tiles, they are also in the old style. So it's not really old style or new style, but it's just a different style. But I think that the new style, or this Pix Plant style with the more smoothed materials, has got a better production property to it, in the sense that I can make a few of those textures per day instead of having to do only one texture per day. It's just a matter of like artwork being the bottleneck here. And I think it looks pretty good. It's a style that I want to run with first, and if we can't make it work, then so be it, then we'll have to redo it anyway. But I just like being able to produce textures instead of having to spend an entire day tweaking the wood grain on this texture and then it not being perfect or maybe not matching other textures. So maybe the best idea for now is to start with this wooden planks texture. See if we can make it match the other things. I think that's a pretty good idea. And maybe we can do the roofing tiles as well. So, yo Halim, Ahmed, how are you doing? So let's quit out of this thing. Or maybe we can just very quickly jump into the build alone mode one more time. So we might not be able to do all of the wooden textures, but at least get the wooden planks right. And we need something that matches the cinder blocks. So maybe I should remove all of my chunk files and start over so that we can have the materials next to each other. We've already debugged quite a lot of this stuff, so maybe I can just remove all of my chunk files and then we'll be on our merry little way. Because let me open up a finder here. So documents, artwork production, PBR. This is really where we left off. In the blocks folder, like bricks is new. I did this yesterday, so just a quick indication here. This is the albedo. The bricks are white because that's the original material color that should shine through. The concrete in between is the concrete color that we have in the game. This is the material map, which sort of defines the concrete to be slightly smoother than the bricks themselves. And this has got ambient occlusion baked in as well. So the areas that are sort of transparent here, they are occluded, and the opaque areas are not occluded. And then there's the normal map, which looks like this. So it's a bit smoother than hand-drawn. It's a lot smoother than hand-drawn, but it has the amazing property that we can actually make these in large quantities. So instead of having to spend an entire day drawing facets of a brick normal map, we now just like in an hour or so I had this entire brick texture done. So let's do that with the wooden planks. Last time it took me about 8 hours, a full day to do the wooden planks, and hopefully we can do it a lot quicker today. And bit by bit we will be replacing all of them. So the cobble is also new. We hadn't seen this one before. The albedo is just entirely white because it doesn't have a different mortar material in between. This is the ambient occlusion map. Again, the whiter or the more transparent areas are occluded and the more opaque blue ones are not. And this is the normal map. Really similar style to the bricks. And you can play with the depth of the normal map and with the, we draw a displacement map, so you can sort of vary the depth of that. And that will make the normals either more extreme or more subdued. So it's all pretty good. Also, we still have this super amazing lantern displacement map. Let me see if I can open it up here. Yeah, this one. We will be able to reuse this one. So we spent a lot of time on this one and we can reuse this. So that's really good. That's really good. Anyway, let's see if we can do the wooden planks. And we've got wooden planks and a wooden planks pole. So let's start with the wooden planks. And we sort of want to archive these. So let's make a folder 2022-11 hand-drawn. Wooden planks 20. It's a bit too much. It's already in the archive folder. So let's just copy all of this over so that we can fall back on it if we might ever need it. Base wooden planks. All right. So we've got an albedo map. This is the old texture, old albedo map. Displacement map. We might be able to reuse parts of that. Also, if you hear a rumbling noise in the background, it's because there are construction workers outside of my house working on things. And I hope that we will, like, the electricity will not be cut off. So if I ever like stop streaming all of a sudden, it's because the electricity is gone. RIP. Ambient occlusion. All right. I think we just toss this out and we start again. So how do we start again? It's simple. That's what they all say. We're opening up the cartoon version of the texture. So let's go into blocks, wooden planks, and then we use the wooden planks colorized. And we'll start with our displacement map. We don't need all of these mod layers because we will not be using color modification in this engine. The nails, we can just use regular nails if we want them at all. That's like part of the question that's still unanswered. We can remove all of the background layers because we'll make our own one. And let's call this one planks. New layer BG. And let's just draw a background behind this. Not sure if we should go with like full black, but let's go with full black for now. And then let's save this as wooden planks. We're doing a new displacement map. I've already decided. Let's do a new displacement map. Boom. In fact, let's just remove all of the other stuff because we're doing a better texture. Boom, it's gone. That's sometimes it's simple. There we go. All right, so now we need to decide on the amount of detail that we want to add. For the textures that are currently redone in a new style, I've sort of opted to keep them very, very light on detail. There has been a lot of feedback on the game, on the current visual styles of the game, where people say, I'm not a big fan of like having detail and texture like everywhere, that every pixel is sort of differently colored. So let's sort of work in a style that has less detail than before. It really makes it stand apart. And since we have this very high fidelity lighting going on, maybe normal mapping and ambient occlusion can stand on itself. Like, it's already sort of a beautiful effect. It's a beautiful lighting model that we have in the game. So we don't really have to do a lot of texture work to make it shine. That's my vision at the moment. Also, the less detail the game world has, but still looks credible, the more that all of the characters and all of the players that are in the game will stand out. So let's sort of shoot for a contrast between the world being smooth and less contrasty, and the characters being high contrast very vibrant, and really standing out with sharper lines. It's a style decision. We have to see what it looks like in the whole in the end, but we have to start somewhere, and let's just move ahead. We can always paste in more detail. So I'm sort of partial to removing some of the wood grain, like these lines. One thing that we for sure want to get rid of is these highlights. And let's just also toss out the wood grain. Let's just go radical here. Select same stroke color. Okay, that's a bit optimistic. It's because the outlines of all of the planks share the same color. Also, one thing to note, wood grain isn't necessarily something that displaces the material. I've looked at a few planks in real life, and even though wood grain does imply some sort of structure, it's not that extreme. It doesn't really push back the wood itself. Wood grain is mostly a color thing instead of a depth thing. All right, here we go. Is there some junk? Yeah, there's some junk like this, and this. Here's some junk. All right, these planks look good. Now we need to make sure that all of these planks are a nice continuous shape. So we need to merge these two basically. And also the stroke is 13 points. So let's make a note here. Stroke 13 pixels, points, px. So that we know to restore the stroke. Let's remove the stroke, and then we move this. Let's see, the artboard is 640, 640. So let's move this one, object transform, move over 640 pixels. And now we need to glue these together. Oh, they're gonna have to glue you back together. So we're mostly interested in this area. We need to merge these shapes like this. Boom, they're merged. And then we want to start removing some anchor points here. And here as well. This one is sticking out a bit too much. I think we can remove this anchor point here. I think this one can go. So the cleaner the shape, the better, sort of. Okay, this very slight dent in the plank, I can live with that. So now we have a nice top plank, and already you can see we're having way more speed than last time we did this with the hand-drawn normals. So now we need to merge these two planks, move this one over to the right. You could also move the right one to the left, but this is just the way that's more natural for me. I think they sort of flow into each other pretty nicely, so let's merge these. Yeah, we got one anchor point over here, one anchor point over there, so good job here. I'm not sure if Robotic or Space drew this texture, but good job. Very easily merged, would merge again. So there we go, that's the basic shape, the base shape of the wood, which is good. Suppose that the background is at 0. Now we are working with a displacement map, so higher values, like whiter, lighter values, imply raisedness of the material, if that's a noun in English, like the raisedness, the depth of the material. So we want to keep the background darker than the foreground. Let's remove our node. So what we're going to do first is to group all of these, I think, because we want the same effect applied to all of them. Then we're going to offset the path by 13 pixels. Which is more than the stroke because the stroke was center aligned, so we probably need 6.5 pixels. Yeah, this matches the stroke a lot better. Maybe we can go with 7, make the planks a little bit thicker, 9. We kind of want them to sort of merge together, but not quite, not quite. 9 pixels is about as far as we can go. There we go. Because this, we're going to apply, here, I'll show you. What shall we use for the base tone of the planks? So I don't think that planks are very thick if you take a look at them when they're hammered to a surface. So maybe we just raise the background color a little bit, because otherwise we are working in very dark tones that are not really easy to see. So let's raise the background 189, maybe a little more contrast, 156. Like that. That feels pretty good. And then we'll make the planks slightly lighter. 231, 231, 231. There we go. And now we're applying a inner glow effect on the edges to sort of round off the planks. It's going to be normal, 100% opacity, 16 pixels wide. Let's see what that works or looks like. And the planks are still sort of above the background. Preview, there we go. This looks pretty decent. So one thing you can play with between materials is the sort of glow radius that we add to this. Because the ruin stones, they are very thick stones, so they will have a very nice taper to them. So they have got a very smooth and large fade between them. Wooden planks, in real life, they have like less of a fade, less of a sort of roundedness to them. So maybe the effect that we have here is already a bit too strong. So maybe 12 pixels, like making them a lot sharper, will make them look more like planks. I'm not entirely sure. And one thing that I want to sort of like experiment with is to add a bit of a depressed look in the center. Because these are used as wooden planks where people step on as well. So a plank under pressure will sort of like budge. Let's see if we can emulate that effect. It's just a very subtle, playful effect that we add here. So let's see if we can do another gradient, like another inner glow. Apply new effect, but from the center instead. And then we use a color that is very close to the base color, so maybe something like 222. 222, like this. Preview it. So it gets darker now, but we need to use a huge radius here, so that the edges are still light. Let's see if we can get some kind of effect like that going. Yeah, this is getting pretty close. It's very subtle. If I darken this color a little bit, so let's go with 100 for instance, this is very dark. See, this is sort of the depressed portion that we add to the planks. So it needs to be very subtle, but it's a very playful effect, and you get this, it breaks up the smooth surface of the planks. So like this is also possible, 80, 96. Like what looks good? 72? Looks pretty good. Let's go, and then let's change this back to the 222. So it's there even though you don't see it. Trust me, it's there. I'm a doctor. Time flies. This PBR project was started earlier this year, and now we are at the end of the year. Indeed, I've been working a lot on the base game. Like I said, all of the improvements to the regular Angeldust game have been ported over to this version. So it's been quite some time indeed. I fully agree with you, but things have changed in the meantime. So I already see one problem. This bottom piece of wood is sort of like skirting the bottom edge of the texture here. So we need to make sure that it's within the edge, and with 7 it's within the edge, and this one is also within the edge, so that's better. But here's the thing, because it took so much time to make the hand-drawn wooden planks, I wasn't really motivated to do a lot of work on it ever since. And I finally went back and I said, okay, we're going to find a process that works. Because I'm just a solo dev, we need to have something that works. We need to have something that Firefly is happy with. So we're now firing up Pixplant. Oh, that was fast. Which is what she said. Opening up the displacement, and let's just take a look at what the material looks like now. So does this look like wooden planks? It does, but we don't have displacement mapping in our engine, so let's have it like this. Already pretty good, pretty good. Now one thing that for style purposes I'm gonna do is to smooth it out. And take note here. I hope this works, the pixel zoom. What you see here is the result of the very subtle depression displacement thing, or like the budging of the material that I added. Since these planks are under a lot of stress and they're hammered down at the endpoints, the center sort of can bulge inwards or outwards, and we're going with inwards because it looks like people have actually stepped on the planks. And you see these very nice ridges appear here, so this is actually the normal map accommodating to that sort of central depression effect. And we're going to smooth it out, so hopefully this will look like a very smoothed normal. So let me use the smooth function over here. Yeah, it's almost unnoticeable. You almost do not notice it, but it's there. It will hopefully be more apparent when we look at it in the engine. So there we go. This is the normal map. Let's save it out to the wooden planks. Let's see, wooden planks variation, wooden planks, pole, wooden planks, PBR normal. Boom, there we go. Now we use the feature that we already saw in an earlier video, extract from displacement ambient occlusion. Here I've also made some improvements. Oh, you can also see a very subtle ambient occlusion effect on that depressed part. So that's looking pretty good. Here I also made an improvement. Previously I was using a planar bias, so biasing values to the left a lot, so to make the ambient occlusion darker, but that's not what you want. Aesthetically it's nicer to have the bias in the center. So it's not darker and it's not lighter than it should be. So I figured out this tool is sort of like involved, but if I move the slider all the way to the left and then just page up 5 times, it's at the exact center. You can page up 10 times, so that's probably 0 to 100 or minus 50 to plus 50 or minus 100 to plus 100. And if I page up 5 times, it's in the center. It's just something that I figured out. Because if you move this all the way to the left and then page up just 1 time, this is way too dark. This is not what the ambient occlusion for this should look like. And if you move it all the way to the left, it's too light. You only end up with like the very dark portions. So I sort of figured out if... I'm not sure if there's a manual for this, but I do it this way. It's just a tip for everyone trying to draw their textures at home. So this is the ambient occlusion. Let's save it out as wooden planks. Base wooden planks, and then we call this wooden planks PBR AO, ambient occlusion. That's in the bag. Now we need to make a proper material map out of that, because we can't just have the ambient occlusion thing. Let's try and do that. So I'm opening up a new tab here. New tab, because what we want to do is we need to replace the albedo with a white texture. So let's first head over to the cinder blocks variations. So we're not working with albedo at the moment, so let's just paste this, copy this name, remove the file, paste the name, there we go. So we have new albedo, we have new there, okay, and now we make a material map file. And we can also abuse or copy the cinder blocks for that. We might add more detail later on. Wooden planks, PBR material base, wooden planks, PBR material. Opening up this, select. We relink this to be wooden planks. It's a bit of, this is not the most interactive portion of the stream, but don't worry about it. We replace the textures with our wooden planks, and now we can apply the ambient occlusion to it. Looks good. Save it, export it with transparency. We spent an entire stream debugging the transparency. Let's see, the name should be good. Now we fire up texture packer, and our new wooden planks should be in here somewhere. I think it's these over here. Publish a sprite sheet, and then we probably want to, let me open up 2 terminals. Documents, Angeldust, Angel code generation. So we're updating the texture sheet definition, and we'll also be, this is a one-time thing, we'll also convert the regular diff texture Boom. There we go. Now that that is set up, we don't have to worry about it too much. We can now just tweak the textures and like reopen them.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
And this is our new wood. Check it out. Wow. That's our new wood. Okay, so we're definitely missing the nails. I like the nails. It's a detail that's like very inherent to wood. So that's the first thing that we're going to add back, because this is a bit not woody enough. It's not woody enough. This sort of looks like the ruin stone now. We need to add a bit more detail to the material. Yeah. I mean, these are stones and they look good and they have a bit more depth to them, but the wooden material can definitely use a bit more detail. That's good, that's good. We're making progress, Watch me spend another day on the wooden material, just like the other ones. Alright, so here we go. These are the nails. We're working in the displacement map here. So one thing to note is that I think we can raise the planks just a wee bit, So let's make them a bit brighter. And I think we can sort of keep the depressed effect like this. So if that's too strong, we can tone it back down. But I want to have just a little bit of more detail to the planks. A little bit more contrast. And then with the nails, we sort of need to... the wood without nails looks like a mud. Okay. It's only gonna get better. Let's check this out. It's only gonna get better, I hope. It was definitely not the effect that I was shooting for just yet. So we need to be on the lookout for improvements here. How do we do this? We've got a 8 pixel stroke on it's centered, so we can probably remove the stroke. That's my first step. Remove the stroke like this. Okay, that's good. Then we offset the path with 4 pixels. Okay, so that's we're back in the usual configuration. Then we want these to sort of start at the... Oh, we can multiply here. So we make them white, and then we do an inner glow from somewhere. Let's see. Maybe we make them very slightly darker than the planks. So that's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And then we inner glow from the edge in white. And we need a very small radius here. 4, 6, 8, 16, too much. 12, I think 8 looks pretty good. So the idea being here that the nail sort of depresses the wood, it presses it in, but not too much, not by much. Already we're looking more like wood here. And maybe it shouldn't be this dark, so maybe we can go with 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and just lighten up. Like, we don't want the planks to look like they've been totally... like this. Maybe that's too subtle. Let's go with 2, 3, 1. Let's see what it looks like. Like I said, watch me spend another 8 hours on a wooden texture. I went into this blind. I thought, hey, it might be nice to work on the wooden planks today again in a new style. But I didn't really check it out. Alright, see, we sort of get this wooden effect. Yeah, it's definitely that. There's definitely nails in there. Smooth it out. Then it becomes very subtle. Might be a problem, I don't know. We can... we're running with it and we're tweaking it. Alexis says, it is nice. Good. Extract from displacement. Ambient occlusion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you can see the nail holes. Not sure what to call them, but the nail holes, they definitely pop up in the ambient occlusion map here. So we're adding some depth to the texture. And I already know where this is going to take me. You already know it's going to happen. We are going to add the wooden grain. Maybe as albedo, but it needs the wood grain. That makes it wood. So fortunately we have textures with all of these sort of details already in there, so we don't have to draw them. But you know it's gonna happen. It is gonna happen. Let's see what it looks like in Texture Packer. Yeah, updated, publish a sprite sheet. And now we only need to convert the texture once more. Fire it up.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
So now we should have very subtle, we have very subtle nail holes in there. See it? Whoa. That looks good. It looks like mud, Firefly. Oh, whoops. I'm not entirely sure how to treat it beyond this. So in the original textures we have the background being a different color. So there's a albedo map for the background of the wooden planks. Not sure if you want to introduce that. Like if we place bricks next to this, the textures, they are really different in style now because the albedo is that sharp. So maybe the trick is to indeed either add the wood grain or make the background a different color. Something to consider. Let's first finish adding the nails, the different material. We already did this in an earlier stream, but still, we're gonna do it. I'm pretty happy with the displacement, not gonna lie. Happy with the displacement. So we open up the original cartoon style texture, and we need to turn this into an albedo map and a material map because we need to signal that the nails are metallic. We already went through this, but we're doing it again to make sure that we're still doing it right. We want the nails, and for now let's forget about the other stuff. So we're working with the nails only. And let's save this as the wooden planks, base wooden planks, PBR, albedo. Yeah, that's what I want. Tell me what you want. How did we do this last time? Because we don't want... We can take the easy way out. We just make the stroke white, like this. And then the center of the nails is going to be a metal color, steel. So we need to look up what steel looks like in the engine. Again, if this looks familiar or sounds familiar, it's because we went through this process once already. But it's pretty good. It's pretty still good. Material color information. Metal steel. It's very hard to see. It's 35 to 85. So let's calculate this. Calculator. 37.5 plus 85 divided by 2. 6125, and then we plug it into our material value calculator. Oh, we don't even have to do this. We don't even need the calculator. We just do this times 255. We don't do it by 255. This is on a base of 100, so it's 2.555. 156. That's the lightness. 156. There we go. Boom. Those are our nails. I think. I think, honestly. Oh, we need to add a background to this. New layer. Background. Otherwise, we need to pay close attention to the export options every time. But let's keep it simple. 480, 480. Albedo. And we'll save it as wooden planks PBR albedo, that's good. And now we want to have these affect the material map. Sure, we can do that as well, because we are cool like that. Open up the wooden planks material. Boop. Okay, we need to make this 640, 640. Paste the nails on a different layer preferably, so let's make the background a bit bigger. Nails, okay, so the stroke is going to be the background color, which is 127, 127. 127, 127. And then the center portion, we need to make the wooden planks metallic, because wood is not metallic, so we need to make the value +1, which is 255. And let's see what channel it is on. Metallic is on the green channel, so it's going to be 255 metallic. It will be 255 albedo as well. And the roughness, we need to lower the roughness from planks to metal steel. So planks are, wood is 0.75 and metal is 0.15. So we need to make this minus 0.6, 51. This is just the way we make our materials. So does this make sense? It makes sense. I hope. Now let's open up the entire material map. So we now see a different material definition for the nails. We still have the ambient occlusion in the back. We can save this file, texture pack it, boom, convert it. And now our nails should be back. Let's go.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
The nails are back, but we changed the albedo map so it wasn't shared with other materials anymore. So we need to, this time we need to update the texture layout. It's fire. Thank you, Alexi. It's fire.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
It wasn't fire though. It was not fire, definitely not. Yeah. Nails are in there. Though, okay, like if the sun is shining on them, we can see the, yeah. They're a bit dark because they've got a lot of ambient occlusion, because they are drilled or hammered into the plank, sort of. So maybe we should lower that effect, but check it out. We've got a very nice glossy reflection here. That's pretty fire. That's pretty fire. I don't think we had this effect on the previous planks, like that much. Now the big question is, does this look like planks? Or is there something wrong? The reflections are hot. There we go, Alexi. You know it, you know it. Let's see if we can get a wooden planks block. Wooden planks, here we go. Right next to the bricks. I like the reflections. It's a pretty cool effect. It's very concentrated as well. It's definitely very, very metallic. Just like these. Wow. Whoa. So good. But I still feel there's something missing. There is still something missing. Is it the wood grain? Is it maybe the background color for the texture? I sort of agree with Wendy here. Add a little detail upgrade from the original. Yeah. There's something missing. And I'm not sure if it's the wood grain or if it's the sort of background effect that we used to have. They look like mud, they say. Well, it's not mud. One thing we can try is to sort of decrease the roundness of the planks to make them stand out a bit more. So maybe we overdid it here. Maybe we make the planks inner glow 8 pixels. Maybe we go 4 pixels. Like make the planks much sharper. Because maybe that contributes to the sort of mud look. 6 pixels, like we do the binary search again. We have the value and then we try again. So I definitely feel that they can have a bit more definition to them. Again, I didn't plan this in advance, so maybe I should have done this texture on my own time first, so I could show you the best result, the best possible result. It's also possible that this smoothing is just way too much for the planks, but I kind of want to keep things consistent, so maybe that's a bad starting point, but we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Save this ambient occlusion. Let's see what happens with this. We open up the material. So far we have not spent 8 hours on this texture just yet, so there is hope. There is still hope for us.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
Better, better, much better. They stand out a lot more. They've got sharper edges now. They look more like planks. This is definitely better. They look like mud. Okay. So we might even go all the way here and say wood has got these very hard edges. They get smoothed out anyway by the normal map smoothing. So maybe that's the way to go. But this is already much of an improvement. So let's just check it out. We do the binary search one more time. We just remove the edges. These edges. Boom. Thank you, Alexi. I have no idea what it says. Yeah, thanks for typing it transliterated, but I'm going to need to use Google Translate here. One moment. Alright. I have no idea what it says. But it translates into something about a dog. I hope I'm not your dog. It's a Russian joke, okay. It might be a bit too much for me to understand here. So now I'm left wondering if we want to make the nail holes a bit more subtle as well. Maybe you can explain it. It's about a dog or a terrier or something. Maybe it doesn't translate into English that well. But I like it. Thanks for trying to supply us with jokes. It's always good. Displacement. Wood. The nail holes are very subtle now. Maybe this is gone overboard. Like maybe it's too much or too little. In fact, ambient occlusion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a bit of ambient occlusion in the holes, so maybe it's good still. Save it. Open it. Save it. So sorry if I've got a bit more speed and efficiency going on in the process here, but...
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
This is just what we do. Alright, alright, I can dig it. So I think for planks we definitely want to have the more hard transition between the edges. This looks much better already. So it does sort of lose some of its definition because the background color is the same. But let's take a look at what it looks like in the real world.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
So let's just go to a wonder. I'm gonna click the wonder button here. Halloween terror. Okay. Do we have any wood here? Are there wooden buildings? Tell me there is wood somewhere. Also, don't mind the lag. So the cobblestone is looking really pretty. I like the cobblestone effect. The stream might be a bit choppy, don't worry about it. It's also choppy on my screen. This is exactly as intended. I do recall there being a wooden building over here somewhere. Someone is fighting. Oh, we have music. Please don't stop the music. We probably want to have the time lapse here. There's wood here. Okay. It looks like this. Okay. Let's wait for the sun to go around one more time. One more time. I don't mind it, but it's not super woody like we had before. Built by Obi, Ecplixie. Is there wood here? Anywhere?
For this.
Please? Okay, this is looking pretty cozy with the bricks. Loving those. No wood. Any wooden planks over here? Don't see him. Oh, the bridge over there. Let's go up on the bridge. Maybe we're already spending too much time looking in-game now, so maybe we should just go back to drawing textures and trying to make them look good, but... How do we get to the bridge? Is it one level higher? The lag is killing me. We need to go deeper.
Nothing like that. New treasure smell.
One thing though, the nails definitely are very shiny. See that? They are super shiny. We could pretend that the nails are actually corroded or something. Because this is very shiny. No, Firefly, it's not shiny, it's realistic. Okay. Yeah, I feel we definitely need some kind of separation between the foreground and the background here. Because the ambient occlusion is not enough to make it look like planks. That's my impression at the moment. And I'm not sure if that's realistic, if you could say that wooden planks have a different background color to them. But right now, it's not enough separation for my tastes. And I don't think the wood grain alone would be able to give off a very good effect. So here we go. We're just going to use the albedo map. We're going to cheat a little bit, but hey, it's PBR means that you took into account all of the options. So that's just what we're gonna do. We're gonna take into account all of the options in the pipeline or whatever. So we'll copy over a background layer to the albedo. Oh, we already had one. And let's just make it subtle at first. 231, 231, 231. Because it's in linear color space, it's already going to be very impressive, probably. Now we copy over the planks. with all of our effects, but we're going to remove the effects. We remove this one, and then we make it white. There we go. So, trying to find something that works here. Wooden planks, albedo, boom, bada bing. Publish it, convert it, and let's run with it.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
City X Bronx. Does this have wood? It does have wood. There's a very subtle background to it. But not enough for my tastes. And of course it's cheating. It's cheating by a lot. Because we shouldn't be doing it this way. It's probably ambient occlusion that we want to emulate a bit more. It should be a bit stronger. But we need to start somewhere. Let's see what we're looking for. So let's go a lot darker, to 206.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
Psychedelia, which does have the Material Museum, but we don't want to visit the Material Museum at the moment. The nails are shiny. Very shiny. Is there wood anywhere? Please. Oh, there's a wooden building over there. Let's visit Sir Blue Shoes while we're at it. I like the nails. Yeah, the background separation can still be improved. I mean, take a look at the wooden poles over here. So basically you're recreating that look, but with a bit more smoother normals. So maybe we go all in and then just make this very dark. I mean, we can do that. Because we're still within 1 hour, so it's 8 times faster.
No time to waste, let's go.
Wander. Saint Refoir, south. There should be wood over here, somewhere. Inside of this building, there's a lot of wood.
Found the loot and we're happy.
I'm sure.
This is gonna be good.
Yeah. Look at it, look at it. We're back to what we had before, but it looks like wood at least. So that's the good news. That's the nice part. Yeah, this is looking good. This is looking good. And we for sure probably want to get the wood grain back in as well. So we're basically back to where we started, except we don't draw the normal map. We make a displacement map, figure out what looks good for the material, and then we can automate it sort of. Yeah, we're definitely back to where we started regarding the overall look sort of. But I don't mind. I don't really mind. At least we now have a way to do it without spending an entire day on a texture. Silence. Hey, I won't do what you tell me. Okay, so how do we approach this? Do we just copy back over the old version? Or do we use the new version? No, let's use the new version and let's tweak it a little bit more. So I think the background can be just slightly darker. What did we use for the nails? 156, okay. And the background is 123, so let's go 99, 99, 99. like I said, we're going to use and work with something that looks good.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
San Carlos, which is nice, but do we have wooden interiors here or something? Yeah, here we go. Okay, I can live with it, I can dig it. The nails reflect the lights from the sky. I think these are lights, yeah, lanterns, that's good. It feels so real. These interiors, they are so good. We saw this on the earlier streams as well. San Carlos, the interiors, they are top notch. A++ quality. I like them a lot. And I like the fact that the nails give off light and they reflect the light, because it adds a lot of directionality to the scene. Like this highlight comes from that lamp, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't mind them too much. But we do need to add back the wood grain in the albedo map. And then we're done, I think, I believe, I feel. Like maybe... Yo, hey Niels, what's up? Maybe there's something to be said to making the background of the displacement map slightly darker, so we get more ambient occlusion going on there. So let's see what that looks like. Let's go a bit darker, 115, 115, 115. So that we get ambient occlusion. Just slightly sharper. All you see is fire. I like it, Wendy. Thank you. Straight fire. For real, for real. Close all. Boom. Because here's the joke, or here's the fun part. Once we have something that works for these wooden planks, we basically have everything for wood working. And we don't have to draw any more normal maps. We just copy over the values and we're done. So the normal should be a bit sharper now, which might not be a bad thing. And then we make a ambient occlusion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the holes between the planks, that's what we're looking for. Like these triangles, they are now much darker. And I like that. That's good. That's going to add a bit more depth to it. Crunchy says, good morning. Hey Crunchy, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. Not sure if you celebrate that, but happy Thanksgiving. We don't really do Thanksgiving here in the Netherlands, but I do know that some of you do out there, so. And maybe this is already your second day of Thanksgiving, I have no idea. New normal map, new material map, let's go, more wood. Sign in,
Oh, no time to waste.
boom,
Let's
go to the wonder. Paraíso by Leyenda. Sure, but where is the wood? Is there wood anywhere? there are supposedly wooden bridges here in this build. Let's head over to the bridges. Woo, there's a troll somewhere. Okay, okay. So this is the ruin stone. Maybe we need to add a slight bit of albedo to the ruin stone as well. The wooden planks, I like it. See, there's a bit more ambient occlusion in the grooves between the planks. So there's a bit more depth to them. I think that's a good thing. Makes it more consistent with the other materials. Of course, we still have the shiny nails in there, which are looking good. See, it's a nice effect. And now for the wood grain. I think we can't really escape the fact that we want to have the wood grain in there. So yeah, we're definitely back to something very close to what we had, except the normals are now smoother, the ambient occlusion is better, and we just have a better feel of how to make these materials. So that's not a bad thing, that's a good thing. One more wonder, let's see where we end up. Senovoy. Does this have wood? It does have wood in a lot of places. This also gives us a good idea of how to work with the marble, because we need to do the marble as well. So basically we just end up with what we started with. But that's good. I like it. Alright, let's see if we can add the wood grain and if we can like finish up this texture. It's a lot less than 8 hours that we spent so far, so I'm loving it. Save the displacement. Let's find the wood grain. Or maybe we can cheat. Maybe we can cheat. Do we want to cheat? Do we just copy over the old version? Are we really gonna do that? Do we just copy over the old version? And call it a day? Nah. Let's do this It would be nice to just cheat the entire thing, but we can't. We need these. It's totally going to be a copy of the previous stream, so we didn't even progress anything this stream. But don't worry, we'll get there. Yeah, I can already see we're going to do, like the junk is back, we're just going to do everything we already did. And let's call this one grain. See, same problems. It's the exact same thing that we're gonna do. It's anyway. What's the easiest way to what's our get out of jail free card here? How do we make this simple and fast? Copy over the old version. Sure. Nobody said that. Oh. I mean, we have this one just lying around for free. We have this one lying around for free. Why don't we use it? We will cheat here. We will copy over the grain from the old version. It's just what we do. And we don't necessarily want to copy the planks, but we want to copy all of the rest. Boom. Because we already tweaked this to perfection, mostly. Now, one thing that we run into is that the nails are like this. So, Crunchy says, sure, why not? Yeah. So we need to remove the thing from here. This one and this one, expand. Boom. Never. That's not what I wanted. How do we do this? Minus front, sure. Minus front, there we go. I don't think these are interfering with the wood grain. These are not, this one is. Expand. Minus front, boom. Everybody happy? I'm happy. Save this and see what it looks like. We even literally copied the albedo values here. But hey, 1 hour, that's shorter than 8 hours in my book. Okay. We're not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to be here. So everyone asked me to not take a look here. It looks fantastic, so what we can see here, Valesi, Ruan, it looks fantastic, but we cannot be here. We need to wait. We need to wait. But just look at it. Just look at it. It looks so good. We cannot be here. We need to go to the next wonder, which is still Valesi. Okay. La 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 la. Let's just wait for a bit. Let's just wait for a bit. Ruan, I hope you're having a lovely day. We are not visiting your wonder. We don't see anything just yet. Hey, with this many missing textures, can you really call it visiting this? I don't think we can, right? Striped road, here we go. Our wooden planks are back, they're looking good. How do we like the wood grain? Should it be a bit more... a bit darker maybe? Especially on the dark planks, you cannot really see it, so I think it can be a bit darker. You see the nice outlines, so the normal map and the ambient occlusion map, they are working pretty well. We can sit down for a bit. Stand up. Yeah, I think the wood grain can be a little bit more contrasty. So we improved something. Wow. Let's go with 206, 206, 206. We need to make sure that it's not too contrasty, but let's go. Save this. Back the texture. Then we convert it. So yeah, basically we didn't change a lot, but the technique is better. We can do more textures per hour. Yeah, I'm glad we ended up here, because there's no wood here anywhere to be found anywhere. It's bricks, bricks and more bricks. But I can at least show you that it looks really good. Like this is the old texture style, sort of, with the hand-drawn normals and a very albedo background. And this is the new style, like never mind the shadow artifacts here. But I think the new style works a bit better. The smoothed normals like this, I like it. Is the game down while you're doing this? No, it's not. It's not crunchy. In fact, I'm playing on the actual server, so the game is not down. I was talking to that side, but it's not down. But I'm not playing as Firefly. I've got a alt account that I use for this, so that people are not like constantly jumping in and out of the game to visit me. Dreamicidia by Dottie. Okay. There are wooden planks here, in the saloon. Or this building even. I'm not sure what this building is called, but we're going inside. Wooden planks, wooden planks. Like, you don't really see the albedo here. Maybe it's just my screen, but I don't really see the albedo. On the light planks, sure. I can see that, I can see him. And a lot of nails. A lot of nails. So what do we do? Do we make the albedo even stronger? Even stronger wood grain in there? I think we can do it. I think we can do it. I don't want to have it, but let's go even stronger then. Now we end up very close to the background, but let's use our eyes instead of speculating. Let's use our eyes and say, okay, it can be a bit more contrasty.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
City of Justice. It's just us. Okay, now there's a lot of wood grain. And honestly, I don't even mind it. That's what makes the texture that's what makes the texture. Yeah. Can we get up here somehow? Yeah, using the special technique like this. Okay, so these shadow artifacts, they are something that were not in the previous build, but they are in this one. Don't worry about it. They will be fixed eventually. Slightly lighter, I'd say. Slightly lighter. We have the church here. Let's go inside of the church. Dark wood. So on these I don't really mind them.
Oh, divine.
So again, maybe it's just a matter of keeping it like this. It's because of the base albedo material being darker that the multiplication doesn't really have that much of an effect on these darker planks, on these darker colors.
Sweet all.
In all, I think we can live with this. Or we need to sort of override the material for all of the wooden planks, so that we say the background is going to be a dark brownish color everywhere. Like, we could do something like that, but I'm not sure if that's going to look good. Maybe this roof is made out of wood. Let's see if we can hop over there. So again, there doesn't seem to be a one-shot perfect process for these textures, but I want to use Pixplant as much as possible because it's just a lot less work. Do we still see fire? Is this still fire? Is this still good? One thing to note is that a lot of these builds don't really take the sun orientation into account. So some buildings, they are completely covered in shadow, maybe unintentionally. So the grain on the light planks is a bit too strong, I feel, and on the dark planks it's a bit too subtle. So it's very hard to get this exactly right. I think I want to lighten them a bit because it's a bit too strong here, and I think it sort of detracts from the lighter woods. And then I think we'll move on to the next. So let's choose an in-between value here, 174, 174, 174. It might not look like much, but it's going to make a difference. Wooden planks, albedo. Publish, convert, run with it.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
Aspatia, we can look around here. Oh, check out the moody lighting here. So I definitely feel that the stones, they look very good in the background. They just look very good. Now, of course, there's a bit of a like different feel to them compared to the wooden planks here, but it's still, the combination works pretty well. Are these the light ones? Yeah, these are the light ones. And I think the wood grain is pretty good. Let's just run with this. Let's just run with this for now. We're going to make a displacement map for the wooden pole, and then we'll have all of the wooden planks done. Like the wood grain on this one has got depth to it, which you could say is a nice effect, but it's a bit too much, I believe. Like the individual wood grain having depth here sort of detracts from it being a plank. It looks more like a cracked plank than it looks like a plank. Get what I'm saying? So I don't think that the wood grain should have relief to it. I think it looks better with the wood grain being inside of the wood, like not having any depth to it. That looks just a lot cleaner. Not sure how to like better visualize it than this. You can see that there's depth to this wood grain, and it's just too much. This is not what wood grain looks like in real life. It's just not. So I'm a fan of using this same process, or like repeating this for the wooden pole, and then we're done. Let's close all of these files. And then we do the same for the wooden pole. We should be able to one-shot this. This is the old version of the texture. Old version, old version. So we did this in like about an hour, and we needed to do a lot of tweaking. We can do the pole just in one go. We just copy over the entire process. We already have it done. But it's 2 textures, so it might be a bit more work. But then the wood is done. Let's check one more time in the play alone, build alone mode.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Like, as far as I'm concerned, this wood looks good. And pretty consistent with the other style. With the other blocks. We might want to introduce the albedo background just very subtly on this material as well. Just for consistency's sake. Like wood on the left, cinder blocks on the right. Like, does it look consistent? Given the fact that these blocks are way smoother. I mean, you can see an obvious difference in texture and in sort of roundedness and whatever. I mean, there's obviously a difference there, but can we sell it as a whole? Sure, sure we can. All right, let's go on with the wooden pole. A lot of files here. And we can just toss them out like that. That's just how we do it. And then we take the base texture. Remove the mods. Remove the dark nails. We keep the regular nails. Alright. And we make the displacement map first. Wooden planks, pole, PBR. Displacement. And we open up the wooden planks and right next to it. So for the pole, it doesn't really make sense to make it depressed. Will Cartoon View change the way they look? No, this is sort of a cartoon, a PBR, physically based rendering rendition of the cartoon visual style. That's why it's called cartoon PBR or PBR cartoon in the game. You can also do PBR old-fashioned, because it will use then the pixel filtering sort of on it. So this is entirely, it's entirely cartoon style based. It uses the cartoon style textures, but with a different rendering technique and with a bit more information attached to it. So this displacement mapping, the thing that we're doing right now, and the normal mapping is not in the old version of the cartoon style textures. But in all, it's going to look very close to cartoon visual style regarding the texture layout. Then the base plank is what we want. Remove the wood grain, grain, junk. This nail can go as well. Oop. Junk. Pretty good. Then we remove the stroke, or we can just reuse the stroke for this one. It makes it a bit easier to work on the texture later on. And we want them to be 239. On the other hand, if we do say, hey, this depressed effect is part of the wooden plank, we can just copy over the effect. Maybe that's a good idea. Because you can definitely see it's part of this texture. Does it copy it over? It doesn't. Why not? It's just not possible. Graphic styles. Create. Sure, that's entirely what I wanted. This is very helpful. How do I... Do I really have to copy this over manually? Two to 27 center. $72, sorry. It works, it's there. We did it. Good job, us. And now we do the nils, which is an offset by 4. Remove the stroke, then offset by 4. Okay, and then we color them 247 like this. We multiply, and then we do an inner glow 8 pixels white. Wooden planks, pole, PBR displacement. Sounds good. 480 by 224, that's also good. You can save it. Now this is going to look horrible, I believe, because it's applying the non-square texture to a square portion of the thing. Oh, it actually updates. That's nice. That's good. Thank you. It doesn't look as horrible as I thought it was going to look. We smooth it. We save it. Wooden planks. Pole, PBR, normal. Replace. We this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ambient occlusion map. Save that one. Wooden planks, pole, PBR, AO, PNG. Then we make one out of that, which you probably want to copy from the old one. We're just copying over everything. Don't worry about it. Because it's still what we do. It is almost the same thing. Relink it. Sure, and this one is linked to the one in our folder. Wooden planks, pole, material, base. Material, yep. So these haven't changed much. They haven't changed at all, but we will be updating them shortly. We do have the normal map in place. We need to tweak the material and the albedo map still. So let's do those. It's the same stream. We literally did the same stream as last time. But maybe we can do another texture. I want to do another texture, a different one, after this, because otherwise we wouldn't have made any progress. Save this as the albedo. Sometimes it's just what you get. You get what you deserve, as they say. This one can go. Now we need to copy the albedo colors from the regular planks texture. It's this one. Whoop. 99 for the background. 99 for the background. There we go. Then the plank itself is fully white. That's nice, but what did we do for the displacement? Oh, what? Yeah, mistake. There should have been an offset to this. Except for the fact that we can't really offset it because it will go outside of the page. Let's see, 7 pixels. It's within bounds, okay. Then let's keep it like this. If this feels like it's just someone talking to themselves, it's because it is. But I'm trying to make these textures. We've already seen this. There's not a lot of creativity going on in this at the moment. And sometimes it's just life. You talk to yourself. For a while. Albedo, here we go. White and no thing, and then we offset it by 7 pixels. Okay. I think we can copy over the wood grain from the other one. So let's just remove everything except for the plank. Like this. We open up the old version. And I think we want to go darker with this. So what did we use here? We used 174, sorry. So let's select all of the wood grain and make it darker as well. 174, 174, so okay, that's good. And then the nails. Oh, wait. Wrong file, wrong file. Did you hear about the person that invented the knock knock joke? No, tell me about it. Tell me about the person who invented the knock knock joke. Crunchy, we want to hear the joke. I do have a joke for you. The nails are 156. We close this one. This is the archive one. Let's get rid of it. He won the Nobel Prize. How? Why? For what? For peace or? I do not follow. Does not compute. I do not follow, Crunchy. What's up? How do you win a Nobel Prize for inventing a knock-knock joke? Nobel. You did it. You made me smile. Thank you. It breaks the tension here on the live stream because it's killing me. Nobel Prize. It's good. I'll admit it. It's a good joke. I like it. For the viewers at home who do not get this joke, it's because you have to knock because the bell doesn't work or there is no bell. So that's why he won the Nobel Prize. Thank you very much, Crunchy. 10 out of 10 would laugh again, indeed. That's what I would do. So now we tweak the material map for this, or we create one. Wooden planks, pole. There are so many files, and we have old versions, new versions. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I do know what I'm doing, but it's a lot of work. So we want to replace this one, the wooden planks, pole, base. It looks like this, which might not even be incorrect. 255 because, let's see, we want to albedo mix to +1. We want it to be fully metallic, and then the roughness 108. I think we used a different version in the other map. The roughness 51. Why is this one 108? What are we missing here? Because we are wood going to steel. But we're also in painted planks, which are 0.3 to 1.15. So maybe we want to use minus 0.15, which is 108. Yeah. So I think we all learned something. Maybe we can, maybe we update this one. Because we need to, a block that would make sparks would be nice. Isn't there a photon block that does that? I think if you have a, this is, I got sidetracked there for a moment. I think if you have a photon faucet or the other one, I think sparks come off when it spawns a ball, so you can use that to make sparks. I think I even showed that on the live stream. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm pretty sure that this albedo map is good. Material base map is good. And then we just save this one. Getting completely sidetracked here. Let's see what this looks like. It should be possible. I could probably demonstrate it here on the live stream, Crunchy. Because we're going to sign into the game server anyway. Sign in.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
I'm pretty sure one of these blocks, let's see if we can find the machine. So it might look a little bit abstract on my screen because some of the textures are missing. But I think sparks fly off of one of the photon blocks. So it's not this one, this is the launch pad. But it's probably this one. So look in the village for a machine that looks like this. And you'll probably see sparks flying off. I think this is the activation button. Yeah, there are sparks flying off of everything even. So maybe even regular photon blocks give off sparks when they change appearance. Oh, and there's a ball. and it shuts off the machine. There we go, boom. So there are many blocks that give off sparks. Here we are in Cinnabon Village. Do we have any wooden poles? We do have someone dancing, so that's something. It's quite something. I don't see wooden poles. We have wooden poles in the next wonder. Paraíso, here we are again. We meet again. I should probably just go into build alone mode here, because
no time to
it's
waste, let's go.
daytime and we do have wooden poles. Here we go. So subtle difference compared to the previous version. We now have the normal map made in Pixplant, which saves a lot of time. And the wood grain doesn't have relief to it anymore. And I think that's more realistic than it was before. Because I took a look at, for instance, my tabletop here. And it's wood and there is grain in there. But the grain is just polished into the wooden plate itself. So, like, wood grain doesn't have relief in it. That's not the way that wood works. Woodwork. Yeah. So let's do the additional part now, which is the top part of the wooden pole, and then we're done with the wooden planks and the wooden pole. It's entirely good. I did just change up. You didn't really see it, but I did change up the roughness of the nails a little bit, so they are less polished.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
They will still reflect though. So see, they will still reflect, but in the painted woods, for instance, these blue ones. The nails would be too shiny otherwise. And now they are pretty shiny in the wooden planks, but it's not too bad. I like the wooden planks, it's good. And I think it definitely signals that we want to add a bit of albedo to the cinder blocks. Just a hint to separate the fore and the background materials there. Like, of course, like here, you are going to end up with different looks to the materials. But seeing these next to each other, it's a constant battle. It's a constant battle. Like, where do you take it? Where do you go? Do the wooden planks need to be more smooth again, now that we have the wood grain in them again? Or do the bricks need to be sharper? It's... Let me take a look at it on a smaller screen. Smaller view. Like, do the bricks need to be sharper? The bricks sharper, wood smoother? Decisions. Is there anyone that can give feedback? Like, I'll be the first one to say that this doesn't look super consistent at the moment. But I love the smooth feel of these cinder blocks on top, and I sort of love the smooth feel of the bricks. So does that imply that the wooden planks suddenly need to be smoother again? Do we go back and tweak that? Do we reintroduce that like inner glow that we had? I think we do. I think we just at least take the time to experiment with it. Let's just save all of our files for now, so there are no more Illustrator windows. Okay, that's good. Here we go. Planks. The planks are good the way they are. Crunchy, you are good the way you are. I think we had 12 pixels like this. But maybe we can go even higher. Because it will make it look more cartoony. You can already see sort of like the playfulness coming into play here. Yeah. I want to try this. It makes it more playful. They sort of look like inflated balloons a bit more. Yeah, there's no way talking myself out of this, but hey, let's go. Displacement. Did I do it right? Yeah. But then why do the edges still appear like this? Maybe let's not ask too many questions here. Ambient occlusion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Chris says, oh, I see where you're going with this. Yeah, it's hard to get right. It's hard to get right. But I want to get the feel of the materials similar. Okay, so we definitely see that these wooden planks now have the same sort of like balloon effect to them. And even though you might say, hey, the sharpness is nice, we now have the wood grain back and we have the nails in there.
Let's go.
So maybe, yeah. Take a look. It adds more depth to the material and more consistency as well. And people might say, I like the sharp one better. Sure, but I like the balloon style, sort of. See? Muy consistente. I'm glad that we took the time to do this. See, they now look like the same style, sort of. And of course, I understand. Wooden planks, they are not tapered off or rounded like this in real life. They absolutely are not. Why not? Because they aren't. They just are not. But for the style, it works so much better. It's more cartoony, it's more playful. It's really saying like, okay, things are not sharp, like super sharp in this world, and now finally things are consistent. And it adds a bit of love to the material. Crunchy says, perfect, do not touch it. That's what she said. But this is much better. It adds the same sort of like inflated feel. I love this. So we made some progress today. We now know how to make wooden planks. And even though the bricks, they have like different albedo colors, they have like the gray mortar in between, it still feels more consistent. I mean, we still have like super sharp nails in there. So it's a bit of a combination of playfulness and exactness. Let's see if we can find a wonder that uses planks. We are at Neferspi. Because here, I really love the brickwork here. I love the sort of depth of the brickwork. And I don't really mind that they don't have albedo in the back. So I like the bricks a lot, like the ruined stone. But now I'm not sure if we can find... also the dual tone of the bricks, it takes a bit of getting used to. But I can dig it. But now we need to find some wooden planks. And I'm not sure if there are many wooden planks in Neferspi. This same sort of balloon inflated effect is going to make a big difference on these marble capitals as well. Because these are now very, let me sit down, very sharp shapes. And they will get toned down a little bit as well. I love the overall look of this. It makes the characters, they are sharper, it makes them stand out. Sure, the world fades a bit more into the background because it's more blurry. A bit more smoothed out, less high contrast. But it's good, it's good. Hello Lynx, how are you doing? Lynx, we are working on PBR textures. We just made a breakthrough in the wooden planks material to make it more consistent. So I'm not sure, early stream, yes, but this is not Angeldust Live. It's a dev stream, so I'm developing. We're drawing textures, we're trying to remaster the game with directional lighting, dynamic shadows. Maybe you've already seen some of the work on the PBR style. It's just so good, and we're trying to make it like look absolutely gorgeous. What's the next wonder? Dream City. Okay, we have wood here. Wooden interior, wooden. Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. Check out the wooden background here. It's just lovely. It's got this bit of the balloon soft touch to it. The soft touch to the planks. And it's like ray tracing indeed. Ibn Rafi says, hello, apa kabar? Hey, welcome. Merhaba. I'm not sure if you're Turkish, but that was hello in Turkish. Will it work on mobile devices? It might, eventually. The initial release platform is going to be Windows, Linux and macOS, so the desktop platforms that we have. But there's no no obvious reason that this wouldn't work on mobile. Oh, it's so good. It came together. We started off with this smooth shape, but what it needed was a bit more love in the albedo channel. It's so good. Let me pixel zoom here. So this is not a regular zoom. It's going to be a bit pixelated, but check this out. This is a nice effect. And now you can see the contrast between the wooden poles on top. They are sharp, and we're going to inflate, add some roundedness to them as well. This is exactly what I wanted. It looks so good. Yes, you look so good, Lynx. You look so good. Here it's also on the cinder blocks already. Great improvement. It makes it more playful. The fact that it isn't sharp anymore makes it playful. And of course the nails in there, they reflect nicely as well. Good stuff, good stuff. Some blocks aren't detailed yet, but I can tell you this will end up looking really good. That's the idea, that's the idea. So we're working through this texture by texture links. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of back and forth as well. So what we're going to do now is to add the same balloon sort of like property to the pole. And we're talking about this one, 36 pixels, 174. So we'll add it to the pole here. Stylize, inner glow, apply new effect. 174, 36, it's already set up. There we go, looking lovely. Now one thing that we sort of need to pay attention to is the order of these glows. Which one do we want first? And why does it even make a difference? This one is 72 first and then 36, and this one is 36 first and then 72. Does it make the same difference here? Yeah, it does. Okay, that's interesting. I like the other effect better, so we want to have 72 second. Like this. So that's our new pole displacement. Of course, we're not displacing physical poles, not the people from Poland, but we're going to do a displacement map for the wooden pole. So that's good. This is why we don't do everything at once. We just keep going back and forth, trying to improve things left and right. So smooth out the normal here. Yeah, it's got this nice sort of bulging effect to it. Save it. Then we extract the ambient occlusion. And as we learned, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 page ups. Have you estimated when this will release on mobile? No, I have not even estimated when this will release on the other platforms. I worked on this 10 months ago, start of the year, on my Firefly development stream channel thingamajig. And it took so much time. It took 8 hours to get the wooden planks texture done. And I just said to myself, it looks great. Like, I hand drew normal maps. You can look up the videos on the Firefly channel. That's linked from the Angeldust live channel as well. It took so much time and effort. And that's why I'm now looking into doing it in a different way. And just improving the speed at which I can make the textures. So far it's looking pretty good. Because we did a lot of textures, like 2 textures in an hour or so. So that's a lot faster. Okay, so the pole now also has this sort of like mellow bulge to it. Making it more consistent. Yeah, things are shaping up nicely here. I'm so excited. You should be. It's really cool, this stuff. Yeah, everything's got this very nicely rounded feel to it now. That's good. I like it. Where is the door? Oh, the door is over here. Riders on the storm. So now we need to do the caps. So as you can see, the cap. The cap is still pretty hard, and the like the thing in there is not albedo. It's actual relief. So we're going to fix that. And then we're done with the woods. Good luck with that then, Link says. My hands can hardly wait. Hey, that's cool. Hey, Lynx, I do have something else for you. I'm not sure if you're playing on Android, but some big news. The 3D version is now available for Android. So if you go to the Angeldust website, support, and then click here on the Google Play Store, you can see Angeldust 3D. It's now on the Google Play Store. We need to rack up the download counter a little bit because it's at 0+ downloads. So that's more than 0, maybe. But like it's released, it was updated a few days ago. I sent it in and it's just now released. So the trailer you already know. It's the full 3D version for Android on the Google Play Store. So it will auto update. Anyway, that's just a bit of a sidetrack here. You are on Android, there you go. So the 3D version, it's I think $1.50, €1.50, and you support the game development a lot. So feel free to click on that button. Click on the button, do it now. Right, what we were doing? Oh yeah, we were making the pole cap. So let's check one more time in an actual wonder.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
Pexanima West. I think Pexanima's got some wood to it. Yeah, here we go. It looks good, It's really nice. The sort of like the rounded corner to the planks. This really ties everything together. This makes it consistent. Nether is here, so let's say hello, Nether. Привет. Nether has no idea what's happening. I think I can afford the game now. Haha, there you go. And you can also use your PaySafe card or your Google Play Store credit that you have, and it will be good. I think Nether wants to kill us. Why? Hello. Hello, they say, hey, we've got communication going on. I hope they do not start insulting me, because we would not want that. Let's go into the house, see what the interior looks like. It's a separate version from the free version though, Lynx. So this one has got all of the visual styles, so it is actually a drop-in replacement for the old one. Oh, nice lighting effect here on the wooden planks. Yeah, it looks pretty consistent. I'm happy with this look. I'm happy with the way that this is coming together. I hope it works. It will. It does require a bit of a newer Android device, so 4.1 or up, but I think you're talking about a 2008 or so device and up. It will work, and it will look nice. Yeah, and of course you can also play hand painted, which has got the like the updated texture style, but still the old characters. Okay, so we're looking good here. For Crunchy, I'm not sure if you're still watching, but this is cartoon PBR. We also have old-fashioned PBR. It's sort of the same thing. It uses the new textures, sorry, with the pixelated effect, but it still has normal mapping and stuff. So you will still get the directional lighting on everything. This is a style that you see in a game like Valheim. So you will see directional lighting effects, but it's still pixelated. See? There's like very detailed and rich lighting going on, but it's pixelated. So let's see if we can get some light on this side of the thing. See? It's a very rich, very nice PBR lighting style, but it's pixelated textures. It's a very nice combination of sorts. And the link says, it's only 89 pesos in my country. Thank you for the price. You're welcome. I think it's a very fair price for a game that's in development like this. But oh, it's so much better if you take the full texture. And Crunchy says, I'm so glad I woke up early to see this. I'm glad you're here, Crunchy, to see this. Your feedback has been very welcome. So we're going to do the cap, and then we've got the wooden planks finished. Also, I'm streaming with my old camera, so and the lighting, of course, is different in the back. But hey, you can see my arms, which is good. This is a bit of a different stream layout. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was drawing textures. So here's the goal. We do the pole, the wooden planks pole, and then we just take a different texture, a new one that we haven't done before, because I want to also have a sense of progression here. Of course, we are making a better wooden planks texture, but we can go even better. When the PBR releases, will it be available on my paid game? Not sure yet. It's like the idea that I have is for it to be a different game, sort of. And I'm not sure if I will be able to shoehorn it in there. But if it will become available, the price will sort of like be the same. And hey, you support me, so if you buy the 3D version of Angeldust, you will, otherwise the game might never come out. Firefly is really trying to sell this. Old Cam Crunchy says, yeehaw. Yeah, I got some new lamps though, so everything is cool. In the mind of a gangster. How do I approach this? We first make a displacement map. That's where we start. So we will take this and we're going to save this as wooden planks pole additional PBR displacement. But Crunchy, this is the exact reason why I decided to stream on this channel, because like we've got more people watching here, and that's good. Because we want more people watching. So the background is going to be 115. But now I think we made a mistake in the other texture. I think we went 99 here. No, 118, 118. Too many files in the Illustrator. Background 115. 115, 115, 115. Boom. And then we make the thing one single color. Yeah, we'll do the offset. We'll do the offset trick. Stop it. No stroke. Offset. 7 pixels. Just like that. Within bounds. Within bounds. This one is just over the edge. So then we just push it. Oh, it doesn't work. 1 pixel to the left. Are we good? We're good. Are people gonna notice? Maybe. So let's move everything over 1 pixel to the left. There we go. Yesterday I told Sodomio to have a happy Franksgiving. Hey, that's a good joke. You deserve a Nobel Prize. Just good vibes only here. 239, 239, 239. Nice typing there. 239, that's good. Then we want the 27 pixel inner glow. 72 pixel. I think it copies it. Check this out. I think it copies it over. Mixed appearances. That's not good. Mixed appearances, why? It should be the same. Offset, 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 offset. This one doesn't have a stroke, this is a group. Why is this a group? Offset path. 7, I think we did. Yo. Mixed appearances, why? Why still? 7, 4. 7, 4. 7, 4. 7, 4. 239, 239, 239, 239, 239. I have no idea why it says mixed appearances, but we're just going to apply the inner glow to the group. And now we copy the other settings, 36. Does this actually work? Because that will save a lot of work. It doesn't work. 36. One 7 4. One 7 4, 1 7 4, 1 7 4. And this one comes in from the edge. Okay, okay, it's got this, the look is good. I think the look is good. So then that supposedly is our additional displacement map. This is going to be 224 by 224. Apply. Boom. Then we save it as a displacement and we open it up in Pixplant. This one, there we go. Okay, I hope this works. I hope the smoothing works the same way and it's relative to the size of the texture. Because then we'd have the additional PBR normal, then that is saved. Then we make an ambient occlusion map from this with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Save it as wooden planks pull PBR pull additional PBR AO. Boom, there we go. It's a lot of work, but if we wouldn't do it, nobody would. Nobody would in planks. The pole, and then we copy the additional textures. I'm down for doing this, copying it one more time. Then we look at the base. Wooden planks pull additional PBR material. That's good. And then the name of the file is going to be this base. Okay, and then this one is going to be the ambient occlusion that we just created. Not sure if there's a big difference here, but for consistency's sake. Not much of a difference. I think it already opened up the correct file. So this is our material map, 224224. This one is correct, most likely. We just replace it. And then we need to make the albedo map, because we still want to have a bit of albedo going on. And we do it like this, because we don't have any wood grain. This is going to be a copy of our displacement map, basically. So let's save our displacement map as albedo. Just like this. And then for the background color we need to open up the sides, for instance, albedo. I think it was 99. Yes, we use 99 here. Boom. And then the wood itself is going to be white. Simple as that. So we don't have inner glows on this, we don't have inner glows on that, and we just make it white. Nice. Save it as 224, 224, apply. And the name should be correct. There we go. Very subtle change, but we can see the sort of like the inflated balloon effect here on the small version of this. We see the albedo over here and the material over there. Yeah, I think we should be good. We can see if the texture sheet layout has changed. I don't think it has. It hasn't. Okay, so this should take care of the last of the wooden planks.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Yeah, you can see the bulging effect. It's not even subtle. It's just there. It's just looking good. It really ties everything together. It really makes this look like wooden, like cuts in the wooden thing. I'm not sure how to call it. Also, I have this terminal over to the side here, which I need to sort of like make smaller. Otherwise it obscures the chat. There we go. So I think that pole is now also good. So we have the wooden planks with these sort of... It just looks so good. It just looks so good. It's really nice and consistent now. So things to consider are an albedo color for the cinder blocks background. I'm not sure if I want to go there today. I maybe want to do the roofing tiles. I think the roofing tiles would be very nice to replace, because you would see a massive difference in style between them or in them. Oh, you can even see the shadow of the butterfly. See? There's a shadow of the butterfly. Shadow of the butterfly. Looking nice, little buddy. Looking good. So roofing tiles. This block, but more famously known for this layout. See, these are sharp. They have got all kinds of like edges going on. Maybe we can come up with a more simplified version of it and make it look super cool. I said I was going to make a new texture, but maybe not. Crunchy says, I had some doors and I think the butterfly was triggering them. I don't think that butterflies can trigger the doors, but regular creatures can. So a wolf or a snake or maybe a pheasant, like even a bird, they will open doors, they will go through doors, they will open the doors and go through them. Don't ask me how they can do it, they just can. That's just what they do, they open doors all day long. I don't think butterflies can do it. That would be a bit silly, now wouldn't it? I can already imagine seeing a butterfly opening a door. You were confused. I'm not sure if you were confused, but I don't think they can. I don't think they can open doors. Okay, let's make sure all our files are saved. Yeah, there we go. Okay. One more thing that we can do. One more thing that we can do is to contemplate. Because this is something that we haven't talked about just yet, but which is definitely something that the wood has. Do we want to consider the background of the wood to be rougher than the foreground? I don't think so. I think it can have the same gloss effect, or like the same glossy property as the wood itself, the background of the texture. That makes it a bit more consistent. But this is a question that will come up for the roofing tiles. Something that we will have to think about. So maybe it's a good idea to actually do the roofing tiles. So let's see, roofing tiles over here. A lot of files. We probably want to make an archive folder here. And we call this 2022-11 hand drawn. And we just move everything in there. Boom. And I sort of want to start over. Gargolic says on Twitch, hi, how's it going? Hey Gargolic, it's going well. You caught me during a dev stream, so this is Firefly devs. I used to do these streams on my secondary channel. But yeah, we're doing a coding stream. Greaves, welcome. We're coding, we're making textures at the moment. I did a tweak to the PBR shader to make things look even better than before. Previously things looked a bit washed out, but now it's a lot better regarding detail and like saturation and vividness of the colors. And now we're going to make a new roofing tile texture for this tile, so stick around and you will find out. So we're opening up the roofing tiles, the original cartoon style texture, and now we're going to make this into a PBR texture. We don't need the color mods here, and we also don't need the background layers here. We just want this, and we're going to save this as roofing tiles. Like, we don't need a base folder here because we only have one roofing tiles texture. So we can call this, oh, we need this folder. Roofing tiles PBR. PBR displacement. Angeldust source code leak on stream, yes. Take a look at the secondary channel, Greaves. I will show you how to get there. From now on, I will probably be doing those streams on this channel because, yeah, honestly, there's a lot more viewers here, people who might be interested in the future of the game. So there's this channel, Firefly, over here. You might already know this, I think you already know. And here are live streams with full source code and stuff, where we even do this cool things of like adding features to the game. So there's a very cool video, Infinite Lights. You definitely want to watch those. Those are amazing. Those are amazing. All right, so we're going to turn these into roofing tiles, but we have a displacement map. So the background for the roofing tiles is going to be a dark color. Again, displacement map, darker colors mean background, lighter colors mean foreground. So I don't really want to go with like super full black. Let's imagine these are sort of like on wooden girders or something, and they are just a few centimeters below them. So let's go with like 174, 174, 174. Grief says, I don't understand how you live with such a bright environment. What do you mean? Like the colors on my screen? Like the fact that Illustrator is in a light theme here? Or do you mean like this, the color scheme of my editor? Or do you mean the fact that there's sunlight coming in and that you can see me here in full daylight? What's the problem? I hope there is no problem. But for Angeldust Live, I've got this studio set up with the colored lights. I've got new ones now and like everything, but like, what's the problem? I don't see the problem. What's the problem? Okay, we need to go a bit darker. It might be a bit optimistic to use that previous setting. Light team everywhere. You're not living in a cave. Hey, I like sunlight. Come on, I'm a human being. We remove all of the hints to relief in here because we're going to use the displacement map to signal relief. Okay, so now we have these shapes, 13 pixel outline again, so we remove the outline. Then we use the offset path feature to have a 7 pixel offset here. Sort of want to check and make sure that the texture is not going out of bounds. And the nice thing about this texture is that we don't have to worry about tiles spanning from left to right. It's all just the same, which is good. Let's brighten up the base color a little bit. Let's go with 239, just like we did for the woods. And now I want to sort of like do a a trick. Light theme devs are rare. Yeah, so I do have a dark theme in the editor. This sidebar on the left, you can't really theme that in Xcode, but it's all good. Like, and I can go into Illustrator and set it like to be darker, but it's really no problem. It's really no problem. I love these blocks, Crunchy says. Yeah, I love them too. Okay, base color might... I'm not sure where to take this. I'm not sure yet where to take this. So maybe we want to make them a bit darker, but instead of making them darker, we're going to add gradients here. Linear gradients, like this. We are going to give these actual depth, and it's something that we had wanted to do on a previous stream, but we couldn't. But now we're gonna do it. So we want a dark shade on the outside edges of this. So we're working in K suddenly. So let's use 50K. No, less K. 25K, even less. 15K, I can live with this. 15K on the outsides. Then we add a stop in the center here at exactly 50%. And then we do 0K. See? Your eyes must hate you. Doctors hate him. Maybe we can go 20K. A bit darker. 20K. So we're really going to round off these roofing tiles. I think that will be a very nice effect that we don't see in the current game. So that's a very nice addition. 30K. We do go a bit darker. 30K. Now what I hate about this is that there's this super bright spot in the center. So I sort of want to tweak the... Why does it... There we go. I want to grab this thing. 60. So let's move the gradient part sort of like to the sides at 1/3, 33.3, to have the inner band be a bit, just a wee bit bigger. And then we can maybe darken the edges a bit more. And Crunchy says, I use these tiles to make my disco dance floor. Wow, that's a good purpose for these. So this looks good. If you know something like anything about displacement maps, you know that this looks pretty good as a displacement map. We can ask ourselves more questions, like where do we take this? Like, let's not ask too many questions. What we're gonna do now is the following. We will add a glow effect again. So let's group these and then add a glow, inner glow. And we already know that we sort of want to like use values like 174 or so. 36 pixels from the edge, preview. And this is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. It might be a bit much, but instead of using a normal transparency, we're going to multiply it now so that the edge multiplies with like the colors multiply. We can ask ourselves more questions. Never mind. Yeah, no. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But this is what I mean. We multiply the color. So take a look at what that does. Mixed appearances. If you don't multiply, then the darkest most color is going to be that 147 or 174. But we do want to multiply because we already have a sort of color gradient going on. And we want this to be independent of the one that we already had. What I don't super like is the fact that we're now kind of losing that earlier gradient. It sort of lost its directionality. So maybe we do the inner glow at 24 pixels or so. Make it a bit more subtle. So we do retain the horizontal thing. This looks good. This looks pretty good. But I'm not sure. Maybe we tweak the gradient just a bit more. Does it work if I move it here? Yeah. So let's do 40, 40 and 60 or so. Move it a bit closer so we get a bit more directionality on it. This looks good. Greaves is trying to start a flame war here and says Visual Studio is better than Xcode. I'm not sure. I like my Xcode. It's so good. There's a nice optical illusion going on in the spaces between the roofing tiles here. It probably has a fancy name or so. Okay, so we have very nice roofing tiles. Do we want to make them a bit more sharper still? So go back to 36 on the edges. Maybe in between. Maybe we can do in between. This is the roofing tiles. The ones that are on the roofs of the village and that people use for roofs. So let's try this. In the future I wish the scout could activate things by shooting them. Doors, etc. Little known fact. The bolts that the scout shoots from a crossbow can open chests. Chests. Let's take a look what it looks like. Roofing tiles, displacement. Boom. Whoa. Nice or what? Nice or what? Now keep in mind this is using a displacement mapping, so we don't have displacement mapping in the game, but this is sort of the 3D effect that we have. I like it a lot. Nice. Definitely gives off the appearance of raised tiles here. So we're going to the normal map, we're going to smooth it out like we did with the others. And then we're going to save it as roofing tiles variations, roofing tile PBR normal, replace. We're going to extract the ambient occlusion from this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you see on this as well, you see the nice rounding of the tiles, which is good, which is an effect that I really like. He has actual folder names. What? Sure. Why not? PBR.AO.png. Why do you name your folders? So I can easily find them. Is that a good answer? Are you happy now? Are you happy now? Without me. At first I want to try running with no albedo channel. It might be like the worst decision ever, but I want to see what it looks like if we have no albedo. So let's just copy over a white albedo texture. This one. There we go. And then we need to make the material map. And the material map is going to be very simple. We can just copy one over from the cinder blocks again. We will probably be using the material map later on, but since we're not using albedo, I sort of also don't want to use a material map either. Roofing tiles PBR. It's such a strange strategy. Hey, I'm old school like that. I use folder names. What? Name one of them the crunch folder. Maybe later, Max. Albedo is the diffuse color of the material. So it's not libido, it's albedo. Check it out, it's material color, albedo. Maybe you can type it in on Wikipedia or something. Albedo is sort of the inherent color of the thing. This is going to be the base, place it, and then we place the ambient occlusion map. Roofing tiles, ambient occlusion, in the transparency. There we go, looking good. Save it. Yeah, 440, 440. Don't give him no 350. There we go. New roofing tiles, looking sharp. We need to convert the texture map one more time. Greaves, I see 2 red squares and 2 blue squares. Nice chatting. You're doing great. I'm sure everyone on the internet, yellow squares, I'm sure everyone on the internet will enjoy this. I have no idea how you do it. It's probably some Unicode magic, or are these emojis on YouTube?
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Good job. Good job. You did it. Okay, so here we are. Hey, check it out. They are definitely, we definitely have this swollen look going on, so that's good. And they definitely look very specular still. What I like compared to the previous version is that the normal map is more continuous. So you don't have these weird, obnoxious discontinuities going on in the texture. It just looks more like a solid thing. Now, I already know that people at home are gonna say like, yeah, but Firefly, it looks too round almost. It looks almost like a balloon. And you're exactly right. And we can probably combat that using the albedo map. So we're probably going to use the albedo to delineate the individual tiles a bit more, like we did in the previous version of this. And then it's probably pretty good in all. So let's take a look at what the village roof looks like. See, I really like the more continuous specularity on this. That's much better than it was before. Crunchy, see you later. I'm gonna leave this live stream while getting ready for work, which by the way is the best job I ever had. Crunchy, I'm really happy for you. You went through some troubling times, through some bad times, and you took those bad times and you ran with them. You did it. Go on. Super amazing that you were able to like improve your life this way. Props, mad props. So two things. I sort of like want to improve the directionality a little bit more, a wee bit more, and we need to do the albedo thing. Other than that, I think it looks pretty consistent. Like it's sure, it's more round and it's more like smooth than it was before, but this makes for a much more consistent texture experience. And I don't really mind the background on this one. It looks like a stud texture. You look like a stud texture. Okay. I think the colored version looks a bit better. Like less studdy, maybe. You're a meanie. You're a meanie. You have a light color teamy and you just... No, it's all good. It's all good. I think once we delineate the roofing tiles a little bit more, so use an albedo channel and maybe make the base material a little bit rougher, I think we're good. I think we're good. I think this texture is ready to go. And it's an improvement compared to the old one. Now there's one thing that you could say. Slantedness to the roofing tiles themselves. Making them have like a little bit of a slant. Know what I'm saying? So the idea of them being angled like this. You look very plastic. We're not through yet. We're not through yet. So a few things to do. Maybe we just move these midpoints back to 50 and have that sharp angle at the top. I mean, maybe that's not a bad idea. Oh. Already it looks more like a roofing tile. Then next up, maybe the idea is that the inner glow should be 24, so a little less plasticky, if you were, Greaves. Come on, cut me some slack, Jack. It was meant in jest. It was meant in jest. And now we want to overlay a linear gradient once more. So this is base, and then maybe we can do overall slant or something. And I'm not sure if they are slanted individually or if there's in real life you would expect these to be lower than those, right? But then we run into a problem. Yeah, so they are individually slanted. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna slant them individually. Now you might be wondering, Firefly, what are you talking about? What do you even mean? here we go. We copy the group. Then we unlock this layer. Copy the group. Okay, we remove the inner glow. And you're the problem. Yes. You're exactly right. Thank you. Finally someone gets it. That radial thing might be nice, but we're not going to use it at the moment. Remove Firefly. That's the fix. This is what I mean. And we want to do -90. Not sure if this is going to look good, but I think it's going to look good because this effect tiles in itself. This effect will tile in on itself. So we copy this, we multiply this with what we already had. See? So now it looks like there's even more dimensionality to this. I'm not sure if this is too much, but it's certainly something we can try. And now we need to sort of like make it less dramatic. Supposedly the effect is still there. Yeah, the effect is still there. But maybe it needs to be slightly more dramatic. There we go. I love your dimensions. Thank you. I hope that's a good thing. Alright, and then maybe we make the background a little bit darker. Because we can. 99, 99, 99. So we get a bit more relief in there. So let's see what's happening now. We tried our best. Now one of the problems is that the roofing tiles are sometimes upside down. And now it's saved in the... Yeah, it's in the wrong folder now. There's this thing with Illustrator where you can select a folder independently of the file name, and it's just pain. So we want to do it like this. Replace, yeah. File, close all, do not save, open displacement, roofing tiles displacement. Okay, we have something going on here. Yeah. You can see they are angled now, but they're angled the wrong way. They are angled the wrong way. And that's entirely logical, because the top portion is sort of... Yeah. So we need to do it like this, 90. I just noticed your red shirt pocket. Yeah, what about it? This shirt is very... It's just dark blue, but it's got the red pocket. It's pretty cool. So one more time. Displacement. It's good that I took a look, because otherwise the tiles would have been slanted incorrectly. Yeah. So now you see them lying on top of each other like this, sort of. That's better. That's better. We do get this very funky gradient in the center, so hopefully that smooths out a bit. Yeah, we because the gradient is now much more apparent, we get this much sharper left-right distinction. So this might also get rid of the plasticky effect. It does go counter to the balloon effect that we wanted to have, but can't have everything in life. You can't have it all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's our new ambient occlusion. Firefly clothing brand when? Soon. You can already get Firefly clothes, like the ones that I wear on the Angeldust live stream. You can already get those from the merchandise shop thing. Hype. Here we go. Let's take a look at what it looks like.
Let's go.
So in about 20 minutes I want to stop streaming, so hopefully we can get this texture to look good before then, and then we'll visit some wonders to see what we did, if we did some wonderful stuff or not. Okay, here you go. There you go. Okay, so I can understand that you would say, hey, the plastic effect sort of is still there, but It's better. It's better. It looks the same. It does not look the same. It's much better. It looks the same, they say. No, it's sort of the same, but we did some subtle tweaks. Congratulations! You've received a lot of messages. Nice. Thank you. There's definitely some more depth going on. The slanting of the tiles, I like it. I love it. I really want it. You should be able to see the different slant going on. I think they look good, Gargolic says. Yeah, they look pretty good. Restream is a tool that you can use to combine chats. Oh, I like the top rim. I like the top rim. Check this out. I like where they connect here. This looks pretty good. Very solid. So that's nice, that's nice. Now we just need to add a bit of albedo and then we're Gucci. Do you know this person? No, that's a tool. It's a tool that I use to combine the chats of YouTube and Twitch. Looking good, looking good. They look playful as the other ones. So here's the thing. It's not really plastic greaves, but they are glossy, they are shiny. It's, what's the English word for it? They've got veneer. They're like veneered roofing tiles, sort of. So they are not matte like the bricks. They're not matte like the wood, but they are. They've got some veneer. Yeah. So here's the question, though: if you put them next to the cinder blocks, they look pretty good without the albedo channel. Do you have to pay to remove the ad? I have no idea. I didn't even know the ad was there until I received 100 messages. On Angeldust live streams, we occasionally get like to 1,000 messages, so definitely more active. I think a lot of people are in school. Also, the texture gets mirrored left and right, so on some faces, there's something we can look into, removing the texture mirroring on these blocks. Let's not worry about that too much for now. Let's see if we can get the albedo channel to look somewhat decent. Somewhat decent. My disco dance floor with these tiles will make it easier to slide her out while dancing. Entirely true, Crunchy. Do we just use the old albedo map like this? Do we just put it in there? Which is also what she said. I think we didn't move any tiles, so we can just use this albedo map. But I think it's a bit too dark. 32, yeah, let's double it. Double it. 480, 480. Albedo. And now the layout of the texture changed, so we need to do the other conversion as well. Don't worry about it, it's almost done. There you go, we can fire it up. And then we should probably make that background portion
no time to waste. Let's go.
less smooth, less polished, so even rougher. What do we look like? Yeah, you can see the background of these tiles is still glossy. We definitely want to remove that. And I'm not entirely sure about the background. Should we go to the darker one? I think so. I think past us was correct. Maybe in between 48, 48, 48. Like that. That's the albedo. And then we tweak the material a little bit. A little bedo. This one is already... It's not 640, so let's make it 640, 640. Boom. Boop, boop. Enlarge, like this. Now we paste the tiles in here, because that's just how we do it. Boop. They've got the same color as the background for now. and then the background is going to be rougher. So let's see, we want to, also do we want to albedo mix it so it's actually a gray in between the tiles? I think that makes sense. I think it doesn't make sense for the tiles to have a colored background. So we want to have it albedo mixed, which is 255 on the red channel. This is going to look a lot like the old one. Metallic is going to be unaffected. Roughness is going to be plus a lot. So let's see what the roughness of roofing tiles is. We don't even know. Roofing tiles. Roofing. Not found. Tapered materials. Materials. Blocks. Tapered materials. Roofing tiles. Roofing tiles. Can you blur the light that bounces in the tiles a bit more? Yeah, Gargolic, that's exactly what we're gonna do. This will make them look more like roofing tiles instead of plastic. Exactly what we're gonna do. Why does it make a nice? Or ceramic? What? Noise? Huh? We have roughness factor tiles. Okay, roughness factor tiles. Tiles 0.2. And we want to go to stone or something. And stone or brick is 1.0. So we're going to have to do +8, but basically we can just do +1. It will be clipped anyway. Hey Gargolic, no problem. It's good that you say this. So we're going to make the background rough, a rough black color sort of. So it's going to be +1 on the roughness channel, which is blue. 255. No, the albedo didn't do that. So it's not the albedo. You're exactly correct in stating that we need to tweak this. There we go. That's why we use this material map to define the material properties. So the albedo is already darker, but now we need to also pass it in the material properties. So it's going to be, the red here is going to mean that the background is going to be black instead of multiplied with the color. And the blue in this sort of purple color means that it's going to be very rough instead of equally glossy. So let's pack this texture. Alexi, welcome back. I love rough black. Okay. Alright. Let's go. Let's take a look at those tiles one more time. And hopefully this is absolutely perfect, but it might not be absolutely perfect. Here we go. Yeah, the background color definitely needs to be darker still. But you can see that the glossiness in between is gone now. Alexi, we're still doing the exact same stuff that we did before. But we are at least making some progress. So now we update the albedo to be darker. We were at 32 here. So let's just do that. Yeah, is my camera too light? Because people are saying like I'm bright and shiny and stuff. If I'm too light, I can sort of like lower the camera a little bit, make it a bit darker. But I thought that the colors were pretty good.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
Oh, we also have some roofing tiles over here. I think we can go darker still. How does this even work? Like we're going very low here, 16 even. Did you disable anti-aliasing? Not specifically. I also did not specifically enable it, so...
Oh, no time to waste.
I was going to home, Alexi says. That's always good. Driving home for Christmas. It can still be darker, or we just admit defeat and we say like we do multiply with the background color. Like which one do we want? What do you want? Both. wait to see those faces. Driving home for Christmas. Take a look at the drive. Let's try what we had before. So that was this albedo color. Boom. And then no albedo mix. Boom. This one. Save it. Save. Texture packet. And let's go. Driving home for Christmas.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
It's gonna take some time. I think this is better. This is better. There's a very subtle color difference in the background between the orange ones and the blue ones, but it's pretty negligible. You can sort of like don't pay a difference. Don't pay a difference. Maybe we can albedo slightly darker. Slightly. I don't want to go to 16, so maybe 24. Like, I don't want to go with black. I think black makes the material look completely dead, and I don't want it to be dead. So maybe this is just exactly what we want to do. Why is pi so short? I have no idea.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
3.1415. Yeah, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Now the only thing that I'm sort of like unhappy about is the crease in the middle. Like, do we want that crease? Crease lighting. Crease lighting. Let's take a look at the Wonder.
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
Saint Refour, south. Yeah, but did we have any roofing tiles here? No roofing tiles here. That's Shakipa. This is Shakipa. We're going to Neferspi. In time-lapse mode, we're just going to fly around. I want to get away. I want to fly away. It looks pretty decent. Check the disco floor with this. Maybe next time, Crunchy. I don't have your build stored here at the moment. This is made out of roofing tiles. Glad to see you have good taste in music. There you go. You also have Learn to Fly by the Foo Fighters. If we're on the flying theme. I think it looks pretty sharp. It's much better than the hand-drawn version. It's smoother. Some might say it looks like plastic, but that's not the problem. It's not like... But it's... The normal is so smooth now. It looks like glossy tiles. Maybe there are some improvements to be made, but I like this effect. I like this effect. It's consistent with the other things. It's like a little bit balloonish, sure. Now it looks more like tiles. Yes, it does, doesn't it? And we make good use of the new artwork process because we did this texture in what? Half an hour or so? I don't have you in my telecharger, Crunchy, because I'm playing on a different account. It looks really nice with the lighting. Hey, Gargolic, you look really nice with the lighting. Oh, we need to go to G Castle. What number is G Castle? Can anyone look it up? Shall I look it up real quickly here? New tab. We now have the About page on the website. And you can look up the wonders there. So we need to go to G Castle. Let's see. Solomon's Castle. Wonder number 10. And my firewall asks if we can show Twitch emojis. So let's allow Twitch emojis. Wonder number 10. Here we go. Teleport Wonder 10. Boom. Solomon's Castle. This game is amazing. It's got so many features and tricks and trips and... See, here we've got these nice tiled roofs. And sure, I'll readily admit, they look a little bit plasticky, but it's probably also because we're at normal texture detail level. Because the higher you go, it still looks plasticky. But anyway, never mind that. It's still pretty good. Now I sort of want to get to the buildings where there are cinder blocks with roofing tiles on top, to see if we're in a consistent style still. We've got wood with roofing tiles, so let's go into cinematic mode, because it's built into the game. It's in the game. I think it looks pretty consistent. You might argue that the wooden planks background could be a bit darker, and you might be absolutely right. Like if you take a look at like the overall effect. On the other hand, there may be differences between materials, or maybe we just lighten the roofing tiles slightly, like we had before. Do we have any place where cinder blocks are next to the thing? Yeah, so I think this build uses a lot of those facing bricks, the horizontal, vertical and cross-facing bricks. Making those textures is going to be an absolute blast using this new artwork process. Do we want to do it? Like, I sort of want to get lunch, but I can probably delay lunch by half an hour or so. Do we feel lucky? Do we feel like we can make 3 textures in half an hour? Because having the facing bricks, that might be nice, because then we'd actually have done a different texture today. I think the roofing tiles are looking gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. They're splendid. They're genius. They're excellent. I like them. I love them. I want them. It looks cartoony, but that's good, because this is a loony cartoony. So all in favor of making a different texture, raise your hand. I will delay lunch by half an hour. You can see me make another texture. Facing bricks. Let's just you should eat, Mr. Grief says. Okay. Please? Ooh, please, can I make texture, please? 2 minutes. I've got 2 minutes. Let's do this. Base. Horizontal facing bricks. Facing bricks variations. Catch you next time, Crunchy. Have a good one at work. Oh, they're called differently. They're called facing bricks, horizontal, facing bricks, vertical. I'm with Greaves, but if you want to make another one, make it. XD. Okay. We'll start with it. Facing bricks, cross. Eat. Yeah, I could also eat and then come back in like half an hour or so. It's what we did on the earlier stream, but that gives a bit of dead air, you know? I'm not sure if I'm a fan of dead air, but we could also do that. I want to see where I can get, like in a short time span. I think I'm going to put this back at 32. I think that was absolutely fine. So let's make sure that this one is saved. 480, 480, boom. Roofing tiles, albedo, saved. And then we have this one open. We can close it. I want to start with the horizontal because this has the most challenges. So let's call this facing bricks horizontal PBR displacement. And here's the thing. So we want to get rid of the background junk. We might not get rid of the background junk. Like, what do we do with these parts? I think we let the ambient occlusion do its work. So this is going to be a very dark background. Then we remove all of the shading. Select same fill color. We remove all the shading because that's going to be taken care of by the engine. Here's the thing that I found. The chips and all of the like smaller details, they don't really work well in this style. So we sort of need to keep the lighting to the lighting. Let the lighting do the lighting and do not do too much detail in everything. We remove this. There we go. Now we do we need to link bricks together. Let's see. Hello, Annie. Anne, how are you doing? Anno. It's not Angeldust Live, as you know. It's Firefly devs. We're doing texture work here. We're deving it up, developing some cool stuff. So I think the basic idea is that these bricks are linked together, right? They should span over boundaries. So we want to make these connect. Oh, what fresh hell is this? Preferences, units. What size is the artboard? It's file, document setup. Pixels, 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 pixels. Yeah, 640, 640. So let's move this one over. 640 pixels. And now it doesn't connect. Oh, hello. Hello. Yeah, your tag is a bit different here on the thing. So let's see if we can make this a single shape or something. Can I connect them using a brick like this? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, single shape. Then we remove these anchor points, this one and this one, and this one and this one. We make this one a straight corner. Ooh, yeah, I'm really sorry, but we also have on-screen chat here, so there you go. Crunchy is just gone. Crunchy went to work. Crunchy was here earlier, but then they decided to go to work, which is probably not a bad idea. Some might say it might even be a good idea to go to work if you have to show up. So hopefully Space and Robotic can live with this shape. It looks pretty decent. It looks pretty decent. And then we also connect this one to the other one. So let's transform and move this one over to that side. And then we just connect them like we did with the other one. Add a, connecting shape in between. Boom, boom, boom. Connect them all together. And then we remove these anchor points. And I don't know why we get this weird sort of mixture of things, but we just move the control points out of the way, like that. So I'm doing some texture design here. It sort of looks like, it looks sort of similar to what we did on earlier live streams, earlier this year. But now we're making it super special. We're making it super great. Okay, so we have all of this stuff. Then we move the background to a different layer that we call background. Boom, bottom, bam, bada bing, bada boom. We make this into a group and we add this sort of like bulging effect to it again. So that's an inner glow and we want to stay sort of close to the background. So let's do 99, 99, 99. Boom, preview. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Not sure how much of a relief we want to add to these. There's a lot of stones, So maybe this is already enough. Sort of. Sorta. And we could change the color, like maybe make this 249, 249, 249, and then add a little bit of a inner glow to make the flat surface a little less flat. Stylize inner glow, apply new effect. We do white, normal, center, and this one should then be the lower layer. So let's see if we can make an effect that looks good. We change the order like this, and then instead of multiplying, we need to be normal here as well. All right, so now the question is, what do we do with the darker portions from the original? I think we can sort of leave it like this. We do want a bit more separation between the background and the foreground though, so that will take care of the ambient occlusion. Let's save this displacement map and then we'll see what it looks like in 3D. Facing bricks, horizontal, PBR, displacement. Close all of this junk. Boop. Facing bricks, horizontal, displacement. Oh wow, wowie. Okay, so we don't have displacement mapping in the engine, so I'm going to disable displacement here, which makes it a bit flatter. But this still looks pretty nice. This looks still looks pretty nice. Then we're going to smooth it out like this. And I think we've got a winner on our hands. So let's save this as the normal. Facing bricks, variations. This is called, what is it called? Facing bricks horizontal PBR normal.png. And then we extract a ambient occlusion map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It adds a lot of depth. And you can see in the creases, like the spaces where there are no stones, you get these really deep sort of crevices. Which might look nice, might look nice. Let's run with this. It's a bit of detail that you don't see in the original, so maybe we can make use of that. And this is then called facing bricks without dashes, horizontal, PBR, AO. New blocks, I think it looks great. Yeah, we're working on the PBR style, so we're trying to add more detail to the textures. And this is just what the facing bricks come out to look like. I'm not exactly sure if they're going to be super amazing, but it's something we can try at least. So let's see what happens. We have those two files. They look spectacular. It looks really good. Now we copy over the material base. And this process that I'm using right now is much faster than we had before. And that's the big change that I wanted to demo today. Facing bricks horizontal. So hopefully we can make this texture in half an hour. And then I can show you that it's really much quicker. The light in between the rocks makes it look more like clay to me. Yeah, we'll take a look at what it looks like in the engine. So maybe we need to do another trick with the albedo. But for now, I think it looks pretty nice, the depth that you see in there. So let's do the ambient occlusion, add that into the mix. There we go. So it looks a bit weird because the colors are inverted here. That's the material for this. And then the albedo is going to be just a white file. And white files we've got plenty of. We just copy this one, boom, boom. Facing bricks, variations, boom. And we call this albedo. So we add these to the texture sheet, facing bricks, variations, boom. Not sure if you can see them on here. Oh, here's the normal map. And the material map is next to it. It looks very consistent with the other bricks. It looks really consistent. Maybe it has a bit more depth to it, so they are definitely very sharp bricks, sort of like these cinder blocks over here. So let's see what it looks like. Publish this sprite sheet, and then we need to make sure that the engine knows that we have added this material. So it's in artificial materials, facing bricks, cross horizontal. That's the one we did. Copy the texture definition, so texture name PBR style, facing bricks horizontal PBR, like this. Then we need to run the code generation, and we need to convert the texture again. And we should be able to see this in the standalone mode because the village walls already use the facing bricks textures. So let's fire it up. It needs to compile that one file, which sometimes takes a bit of time.
Oh, no
Build
time to
alone,
waste,
here we
let's
go. Hey. Yo. It looks pretty good. It looks even more decorative than it does in Angeldust because now the sides of the block really connect to each other. So it sort of looks like a fish. Oh, and you can see the layering in here. This is genius. You don't really see this in Angeldust because the texture is sort of cut off at the sides. But the fact that we now have these large bricks, like in the center of the screen, I'm not sure if you can see my mouse cursor, but it's at the exact center of the screen. There are two wider bricks now, and they really make this into a nice shape. It looks so decorative. It looks really good. I do think that we need to use the albedo channel to make the background stand out a bit more, so to add a bit of separation there. But other than that, it looks really amazing this way. Check it out here at the bottom of the village wall. Oh, that's good, that's good. This sort of like makes me want to do the same effect in Angeldust. Which one is it? The bricks, facing bricks, horizontal, this one. I think that shape works really nicely, but what does it look like if we have a single block? Pretty 3D, but it's brighter. You are pretty 3D, but brighter. Yeah, I don't really mind it. I don't really mind it. I think it wraps around nicely. Ooh, that looks so good. That looks so good. It's definitely inspired by the Angeldust texture, but it's just...
Oh, no time to waste, let's go.
Different. Let's go back to G Castle, or Solomon's Castle. We have a lot of buildings here that use that brick. See, it's over here. And I definitely think we want to use the albedo just slightly to add a bit of contrast. Just a bit of contrast. Here's a lot of buildings with that block. Which might also mean that we need to make the background darker so that we get even more ambient occlusion in here. A stronger ambient occlusion effect. I like it, I like it. So the question is, do we continue tweaking this, like for a bit? Sure. But then I'll like stop the stream and next time we'll do more. So maybe darken the background just a bit more, so we get a deeper ambient occlusion effect. Close all. Open the displacement. Okay, now they're really far from the background now. But that's good. You can also see the very tiny pillowing effect that we added in the normal map, just before I smoothed it. Extract the ambient occlusion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like clay. Maybe, sort of, maybe. AO. Color is new for that block. It's cyanish. Yeah, there's a glow. What? Who are you talking to? am I missing messages? Can see that pretty 3D. It's brighter. Color is new for that block. Is it cyan-ish? Yeah, there's a glow. Oh no, this is a normal map. This is a normal map. This is a visual representation in a 2D plane of 3D vectors. A bluish color here means that the material is pointed straight at you. And you can see that this sort of pinkish color is to the bottom right, sort of, and top left is greenish. So it's a 3D vector crammed into the RGB channels of the texture. It's hard to explain, sort of, but it's also very simple to grasp, sort of, maybe. We call this albedo, and we sort of try to make an albedo map out of this. Not sure if we want to go extreme, like 32 with the background, but we can try, we can try. We remove the glows, and then these should be fully white. This looks a bit extreme, but it might just be what we need. 480. Let's see what we get now. So we're looking at the definition of the stones, sort of like their 3Dness, the ambient occlusion inside of the creases, and then also everything else. Basically, we need to take a look at what the block just looks like.
Oh, no time to waste. Let's go.
It's dark. Yeah, it's dark. It works pretty well, to be honest. In this dark color, it works like the dark lighting. It works pretty well because you now have a difference, just like with the roofing tiles, a difference between the background tiles, sort of, and the front tiles. Let's see what it looks like here downstairs. Like, it's very dark in here. We need to go somewhere with some light. Okay, here we have some light. It's not much, but it's some light at least. Decent, decent. I think we would need to look at it in daytime to see if the effect is too strong now. So let's use the time-lapse feature. Sunlight should be on this in a few moments. Okay, okay. I'm not hating it. I like it. In fact, the background at times is even lighter than the shadows, so that's good. See, the shadow is sometimes darker than that, so I can live with this. I think this is a very good style for the facing bricks. And still, it reminds me that we might need to do the same trick with the cinder blocks. They might be a bit too like amorphous, like in between the blocks. But it looks good. Do we have any wonder? Dragon Throat Valley. Does this use facing bricks anywhere? I do want to see the bridge. I want to take a look at the bridge though.
We found the loot and we're happy.
Because the bridge is very, very cool. Beautiful. Except it's on the dark side. Light side. In between the shadows you can get a good feel for the bridge. It looks really detailed. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Let's go back. Is it too detailed? Is it like compared to the cinder blocks? I think the style is pretty much identical, except the cinder blocks don't have the background coloring. Okay, secret door here. Onto more secrets. Here's a lot of those facing bricks. I think it looks good. I think it's exactly what we wanted. Good, I think it's more sharpish. Yeah, that's the... yeah, okay, I understand what you're saying. And maybe next time we'll try to tweak that for the cinder blocks. Make them give him like that little bit of extra sharpness too. Just a wee bit. It doesn't need much, but I like the look of the facing bricks this way. I like the way that they connect now, so I think that's an improvement over the original texture. It adds like the nice flowing design to it. Definitely makes it much different. But I think it goes well with the other blocks. Let's do it like this. Oh, I wanted to end up at the mill, but I'm not ending up at the mill. How do I get to the mill? It is something that I will. The wood is also pretty good. The copper, okay, so this is an improvised texture that I did. The copper is going to look different, but the reflection is nice. It's a very warm color. Now, how about we introduce a flashlight so you could actually light up portions of the world? That would be nice. Ooh, this feels like a mill. Hello, mill. A very well lit room there. And now we just move into the village. Keep on walking. Yeah, looks nice. Looks nice. It's very good. One more wonder, B-Boy. Okay, we have a lot of woods here. And it's nice with the more subtle shading to them. You can definitely get a good sense of directionality, where the light is coming from. Especially with the nails like this. Whoa, this is really good, thank you. It's an in-game message. It's really good. So things to do are the marble, the tree bark. But take a look at this, the detailing in the woods. I like it. And then the characters themselves, they are a bit sharper, so they really stand out. I think it's a good style. You can see the nails. Yeah, they are very shiny. Ooh, shiny. Ah, it's coming together nicely. I like this. One more wonder. Halloween Terror. I think this one uses the horizontal bricks as well, doesn't it? So again, I might need to tweak the cobble and the cinder blocks to have this background thing in there. Other than that, it's looking pretty good. Because it's a little bit more smooth this way. Or too smooth, sort of. Like no background definition in here. So just adding that, just a wee bit, that would make them perfect. Because we do need it for other blocks. The wooden planks and the roofing tiles, they just do not look good without the extra definition. And then to be consistent, we should add it for everything. Okay, we can't see where the door is, but that's not a problem. Wonder. Super Summer. This uses very few facing bricks, I believe. Anyway, the roofing tiles are nice though. We definitely improved the roofing tiles. And the woods, yeah, it's looking consistent. That's looking consistent. No facing bricks, no facing bricks. Don't worry about it. Let's enjoy it while we're still ahead. So yeah, add a background to the cinder blocks. That's definitely something we need to do to add a bit more contrast. And then they would be good. But I like these facing bricks. Just the definition, the way that the bricks are shaped. That's all good. That's all perfect. You can see it's a different color tone to the background here. Different color tone. It makes them look nice. Or is it too much? It's not too much, I believe. We'll see, we'll see. We did this, It's good. I'm exiting. I'm gonna take lunch. And maybe I'll do some more work in the afternoon. But not live on the stream. So let's close these windows, this thing, this. We can revert this one to the last open version. Boop. Looks great. I gotta get going as well. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. See you next time. Thanks for being here, by the way. What's in the trash? Some files. Let's get rid of them. Okay. So I'm not sure if anyone is still watching, but thanks everyone who was here. It's been fun having you. I hope you enjoyed the texture creation process, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing the new visuals here. So this is coming soonish, as soon as it's done, but as you can see there's a lot of textures to be done, and there's a lot of things to still figure out. I think we have a better process now, so those facing bricks, they were done in less than half an hour, and I think they look pretty good, pretty consistent with the rest of the style, and like that's the way to go. I want to be able to make textures like in half an hour, because there's so many to do. There's about 400 textures, I think, so being able to do a texture in half an hour means that it's 200 hours of work, which is, if you have 40-hour work weeks, 5 full weeks of work. So that's a lot of time already. But on the other hand, it's something that looks good, and that's something that works. And that's, I think, the thing that we won here, or the thing that we discovered here. A process that is easily doable by one person to upgrade the existing textures to something that looks better. And getting a consistent style is still something that you need to be on the lookout for. So let's, for one more moment, move over to the wall of blocks here. But I think we're close. I think we're close into having like everything consistent. Remove the roofing tiles, this stuff. I mean, these all look pretty good. And then we add the... Let's take a look at it at the small screen. Whoop. I think this is pretty consistent. Of course, you get more contrast in the facing bricks. I'll readily admit that. But that's not a problem. It's just a different color of stone in the background. That's sort of the effect that it needs to give off. And it does. So yeah, I see potential. I see potential here. Definitely, if you see these next to each other, you definitely want to have the cinder blocks be a bit darker in the background. So add a bit of albedo to that as well. Let's save this, or screenshot. And roofing tiles next to them. Let's see, roofing tiles. Roofing tiles. And then we need to place something on top here. Yeah, there we go. Different material, different glossiness to it, sure. But it does work. For me, at least. Like, the entire style looks consistent. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. This looks good. Yeah. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and thanks for all of the comments and the feedback. It's been a while since I did a live stream on this channel, or like in this format. I hope you enjoyed it. Angeldust Live will be back tomorrow evening, so that's the regular planning with like the entire show where we play the game, where you can win a pet snack and all of that jazz. I will also have the studio lighting in the back, and it will be a different experience, but like I want to get this dev work out in the open as well. Maybe people find it interesting. You can give feedback on where the game is going. It might not be Angeldust, because someone asked like, hey, is this going to be in Angeldust? It might not be in Angeldust. It might be released under like a different sort of like remaster title, but it's definitely something to look forward to. I think it's promising. The visuals are really promising and looking good, so definitely want to get this released sometime ever. Anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for the feedback. I will be having lunch, and I hope to see you again tomorrow for Angeldust Live. That's it. Like, how do I close this stream? I have no idea. Thanks for watching. Peace out. I'll see you later. Bye.